Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's episode with us, Ginton Dice. So please go ahead and grab a chair, get a drink, sit back and relax as you watch us about your nerdy friends who picks on one of them because he still doesn't have a PC yet, who plays Dungeons and Dragons.
PlayStation.
Look,
He's voluntarily playing a handicapped player in this campaign. I'm just saying.
Well, his punishment is that he's gonna die at the end of the campaign.
So,
Again.
I mean, that
Again.
happened. That's already gonna happen.
it's been put in stone.
3 in a row! I bought these rings for like $500 a piece that says die at the end of the D&D campaign.
Yeah,
You know
that's
it.
why you're always broke. So, thank you everybody for joining out to us. So hopefully we jump right into this because there's nothing, we have usually no announcements at all. So
The announcement is that it's getting warm in here.
Are we related? Our beards are completely different, Braden.
I know.
So where we last
I mean,
left off.
that's the question I asked to me and my siblings as well, because they sort of look the same, but I look completely different. It's like,
Yeah.
Hey, it just happens. So
We'll let him do the
Okay.
recap. Sorry.
I went to a family get together and I looked so different from everybody else in my family. Long hair and I got short hair or
I
balding.
wonder
oh yeah,
why.
the hair, the length hair, like makes you related to that.
Well, no, they're balding on top, and it's like, oh yeah, great.
So, where you guys last left off, you guys, after talking with the, get his name back up here, after speaking with your semi-friendly neighborhood grumpy old gnome who, Bill Corn, short term for his entire long name,
Yeah, I didn't even try to write out the whole name.
I don't blame you. You guys, speaking with him, trying to understand a little bit, but not much to go off on the paperwork. You guys said that you guys don't have a problem returning his stuff, but maybe things need to cool down before, something happens. As he is just kind of confused. He allows you guys to keep it, but is unsure what to do with his life. But you guys carried on with what you needed to do. So you guys left towards Zelosis, where guys camped out on top of the Weirton tops, and there you had a first scare moment thinking somebody was out there, but then later to find out it was some scouts for the guild who wanted to patrol, check on everything. No harm, no foul. You guys were then able to continue your rest without issues, and then went straight into the city. Instead of landing anywhere near the top part of the city or the lower part, you guys flew kind of towards the gate where the guard spoke with you guys and checked to make sure everything was okay before you guys came in. And here we are. And right now you guys are walking into where is it? The Rainwood district. All right, and you can see it's there is a decent amount of homes. What was I playing? We'll do this one. There is looks like homes, not really a lot of shops in this area. And with
suburbs,
pretty much. And with you guys asking questions, directions to where to go, you know more of the shops are located on the small docks. So the way it is as you guys enter in the Rainwood district, if you were to go towards the mountain, you would be pretty much entering a different district and seeing as it goes up, you can go up that direction. If you were to start to circle the lake that the waterfall is forming, there is a small district called the Small Docks where you guys can go there to shop, and it kind of goes a little bit following the lake, but ends as it turns into a river going more westward. So just wanted to make sure, Elise, you said you were going to go shop.
I'm a shopper.
Luro, who was going to have a look around, but mostly look at the waterfall as he thinks this is a lovely scenery. Garabu, you said you wanted to go to the guild hall to try to speak with the dragon. And Clarence and Aeth just wanted to confirm, were you guys going with Garabu, or were you guys doing...
I was gonna go with Garbu, I think.
Clarence was going with Garber. I was gonna do some investigating.
Okay. Easy enough. So,
That's what I said.
as you guys kind of separate a little bit, Elise, we'll start with you. I told you last time, as your incredibly high passive, you were able to spot not a lot, just very few, like one or here every now and then, where it looks like people are changing into different people, but they're not causing a scene, they're not doing something malicious, as it looks like they're watching, almost patrolling like, but constantly changing their appearance as it goes along. As you kind of start to curve a little bit around the big lake itself, what is it particular that you're looking for?
We're gonna clothes shop, baby. I haven't done that in a long time.
Alrighty. And so for clothes, you can, there are some shops here and there.
We're looking for the good shit.
Okay. And what is that?
High-end stuff, fancy silks and all the good stuff that you have in. What is the fancy stuff? Is it like silk and stuff like that in those times? I think so, right?
Yeah. I have to say that would be pretty. Here, you might find one or two. They're not, for like a royal ball, if you will. They're not like that high end, but definitely more elegant than like cotton wear or any sort of other type of fabric.
You need to have clothes for all occasions, right? Yeah.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I think she's just looking for a. Let's see, what would she be looking for? She's looking for a just, I don't know, a simple long sleeve black dress that goes all up to her knees with 10 knee-high boots.
Okay. Any other kind of like design on it?
I guess probably like a slim fit around the waist, because with her elven forms, he's kind of slim to begin with, so that like fits well. I guess maybe some gloves to go with that as well, that go up to her elbow. Why
Okay.
not?
I would say. Sorry.
No, and then maybe I guess that these people have like maybe they have, I don't know how high end this is, but like maybe for a city like this, maybe they have some accessories like I don't know, maybe like an interesting thing to put in their hair, something like that.
Yeah, it would just kind of depend on how high you're really trying to go, but they don't have like extreme expensive things. They surprisingly enough, they would ask you first if you're would you like it more in terms of style or like accessibility? That would be one of the first questions they ask you.
I mean, if you don't suffer, it's not good enough, right?
So,
that's how women's clothes work. Sadly, if you don't, you have to suffer to look good.
well, they do show you, for an example, show you a little bit of type of clothing that still looks like a very designed, if you will, that you would be willing to go to like a fancy party or anything like that. But they show you that there's a lot of small pockets and stuff, almost like hidden pockets.
No, don't worry about it. We always got our lady pockets, and she like she giggles.
Okay. Yeah, I would say
like women store a lot of things in their bra for the reference. So.
I'll say all of this because it's not that in high fancies. You know, somewhere between 25 to 30 gold.
Sure, man.
But you would get, you know, your clothes, your boots, glove, and your hair accessory.
Nice. Let me just write it all down. Important to write down my my stuff.
As you're doing that, Luro off on his own thing. AS.
I'm gonna follow behind Luro quite a little ways back. I'm gonna see if any of anyone is following him, possibly.
Okay.
You staying within 30 feet or?
Yeah, about 30 so feet.
Go ahead and just make a general survival.
Okay. Four.
Nice,
yeah, there we go. Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
You kind of hang back a little bit and make it look like you're going in a different direction as the party split. And then you try not to lose track of Luro, but it seems as though just a crowd kind of goes in between both of you as you try to like regain control, if you will, trying to get back on your tracks. But it seems as though you're unable to locate him. It is at this current moment just very highly populated. You guys are, you know, a little bit early in the morning, a little bit before noon, if you will, but still high traffic. Maybe people going to their jobs, you know, if they do any sort of schooling or anything of the sort. So it's just a lot of
morning rush hour.
Pretty much.
Oh, that's fun for me. Great. I hear everything within 30 feet. I just footsteps and all that. Ugh.
It's almost for you. You're able to see the whole picture around you. But it because of all the noise that's happening between whether it's random animals, the people talking, footsteps, it's just it gets to one of those times it's slightly too much, and you kind of pull a little bit back as you're kind of remembering back in when you did work with the Blades of Light, where you didn't do a lot of assignments, especially when it comes to like high density of people. You didn't really want to always overload your senses.
Mm.
So.
Well, after losing him, I probably I'm gonna try and get the lay of the area, the land, or this town a little bit.
Okay.
Just figure out where the traffic is going mostly, and then where they generally avoid.
Okay. Go ahead and make just make an intelligence check.
Oh, I'm good at those. Check. Oh, crap. Okay. It's still doing that thing.
Yeah, you'll just hit either shift or control and then click it. Whatever the first number is, regardless.
Oh. Okay. I'm just gonna roll it regularly since there's no
Yeah, that's fine.
10. There's no mod.
Okay. Easy enough. You do start to understand this is definitely more of a rural area. You don't, because there's so many, and because it's kind of even close to the entrance of the gate, so many people and close to the entrance gate, that this might be more of like the lower people. But it doesn't seem to stop as much. You get most of these homes. There's a couple of taverns here and there in this little area, but you don't get the idea of hardly any shops in this district. So
I'll stop in one of the taverns then, just to settle down a little bit, and maybe one of those dive bar taverns, kind of like quieter, more like the regulars are there, and that's about it.
okay, yeah, easy enough. Is kind of just slip in, and it's a very small kind of like area. It has about like maybe 3 tables and just one little bar. There's not that many people in here, but it's definitely like if 2 people were trying to go by each other, like you got to let one of them go through first before the other one can, to emphasize how small it is. But it serves its purpose.
I'll go up to the barkeeper. Excuse me. I was just wondering if I could ask you a few questions.
Yeah, sure. What you got?
So I'm currently investigating the incident that happened in Eastbourne and Ravens Valley 5 years ago. I was wondering if you heard anything about that or have seen anyone make reference to that might know something.
That 5 years ago. I might have remembered something like that, but if you really want to try to, find any information on anything, it'd be best to head to the archives up at the guild.
Right. Okay. Have you seen individuals that they hang in a group and they seem to call each other brothers or sisters? Have you heard anything about that?
You mean like almost any other family that I come across in the streets?
More so, they are completely different in some ways to each other.
I don't know if
Like,
I
for
can help you
example,
there, because
okay.
that sounds like anybody who's just that close to each other.
Well, the thing is, um, it seems that the people are different entirely, where one would be a goblin and another one would be an orc, you could say, or
Give me 1 second.
ooh,
So you have chosen death.
yeah, I have chosen death.
Hope your backup character's ready.
Yeah, she's totally ready. We got
Walks
this.
walks out of this bar into an alley that's just full
An
of these
alleyway full of dwarves with poison tipped daggers.
cloaked dwarfs with poison tipped.
Cloaked
No,
dwarves, yeah.
there's an amorphous blob ready to suck you into oblivion.
I hate that freaking
I
blob.
would rather he have a Theron pulled on him than a Magdor.
That blob was dumb. I hated that blob.
Do I have time to go get a
Did it-
cookie?
Yeah, of course, go run.
Fuck yeah.
Run!
We
Run!
should all just be gone when he comes back and see how.
But that's like the thing, you know, what I always say when people ask like, "Oh, do I have time to do something?" It's like, if you the longer you talk about it, less time you have to do it. Just go and do it. Like worst case, the other people have to wait like literally like
Watch him
30
come
seconds.
back, and then there's still like another 2 or 3 minutes after.
Yeah, for sure.
Ample time.
Because I told him to run. You know, I always say run, and then he goes like, ha, ha, ha. He comes running back into the room, trips, and like breaks her wrist, and like,
Don't joke like that. Clay would have to go to the hospital with him.
no, he has a wife.
Okay, sorry
That's
about
true, but
that. Anyways,
I gotta swipe my phone just because your camera on my end just keeps freezing.
so sorry about that.
Good.
So yeah, he just kind of goes on to explain a little bit, like
Quick,
That-
act like we've moved on with the story.
that just sounds like good friends. I don't know if I can be help there.
Well, the only reason I'm investigating it is because I'm gonna pull out the Blades of Light badge and just kind of like FBI flash it. I'm just investigating something because I recently I've had a person that was attacked and severely injured during that, and I'm just needing to see if I can figure out something, some clues.
As you flash it, and he just kind of like looks at you for a moment. Look, if you're looking for any sort of official business stuff, you're better seeking with the guild on that. I
I
have
mean, this is more of under the radar. This is more of a personal project to helping a friend out.
well, sorry, I don't have any information to give you.
Okay. I'll do the Midwestern. Well, thanks anyway, and I'll tip him a gold for his help.
He'll, oh, thank you kindly. Sorry I couldn't help much more.
You've been plenty of help. Thanks for allowing me to occupy your time.
Not a problem. He goes back to kind of like wiping the table a little bit, and it's like, not that I was really doing much anything at this current moment to begin with. As you doing that, Clarence and Garbu, it's going to take you guys some time to get up to the guild hall, because as you guys ask around to, figuring out where it's at, they tell you it is at the top part of the city. Now, as it looks, the city does wrap a little bit around the lake as it then goes into the mountain on the cliffs, if you will. There's a little bit of areas kind of dug out, but it goes up. It goes, I don't even want to say, probably about halfway up the mountain. But they tell you that the guild is located at the top of the city district, which is known as High Bridge. So, as
Do I see any bridges up in that part?
looking up, kind of wince at the sun. So at this current moment, no, you can't
Yeah,
tell.
it is probably closer to noon, right? It'll be directly overhead.
So, Elise, are you doing anything else?
Yeah, we need to go look for random shit
Go look for random
as per
shit.
usual.
Anything
Always have
particular, or just
The usual. I'm gonna go look at shops that sell random shit. See if there's any interesting random shit. The thing she always does.
Okay.
So if you've got enough fancy clothes, now we're gonna go thrift shopping.
So, you go through a few stores and you come to this one that is called the Glowing Inns. You see a little bit short of kind of like a little bit of like a pudgy elf woman. She seems to kind of just have like a blank face. As she is kind of going around adjusting a few things. Brown hair, you can see she has kind of like a weird off brown reddish shirt on with a kind of like a slight, it looks torn vest, but it also looks like it's trying to be like a style, if you will.
Or one of those jeans with holes in them.
Yeah. Yes. But she is just there, and as you approach, her violet eyes as she turns to you. Yes.
Got any cool stuff?
I don't know, do I? Sorry.
At least
And she kind of like shakes her head like a little bit and just
rough day.
What? Oh,
Never mind.
It what?
It's okay.
Okay. Hey, are you here to shop?
Potentially, if there's any good stuff.
Okay. Okay. And she just kind of goes back, like dusting and like cleaning some stuff off. So as you look around,
I'm just gonna go. Like, I'm just gonna go look around. As she does that, I'm like, okay, fine.
I like it. So I like it. Come on. Work slightly faster.
At least just makes the flying over your head motion as she goes around.
So, first off, you do kind of see a couple of things here and there, that seems interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why not? So, you see, there is a kind of like an emerald ring that's encased in like a little bit of a glass case, not too big or anything like that. Looking around, you can see what looks like a normal bedroll kind of like stuffed up onto the side. Like underneath the bedroll, you don't know if something died there and was never cleaned, but you see a couple of bones. Looking around, you see like a little spool of string, a kind of like a reddish brown wooded cooking spoon. You see a really small statue. It looks like it's been carved in really good detail of a penguin.
A penguin.
A penguin. And I would also say when it comes to a penguin, there's not too much information known about them as they're not relatively around this whole area, but you know a little bit. It's kind of like this is an animal far away, but anyways, and you can see kind of like on a shelf as well, a little bit high up. It looks like a at this moment kind of like a grayed out armband. These are some of the things that just kind of like catches your eye as you're like looking. You're like, this, interesting. That looks weird. Is that alive?
No, that's definitely dead. Looks at the bones. Let's see what's interesting. What sticks? Things coming back in my head there, like the penguin, the spoon, and the bracelet. Those three things are sticking out to me.
The armband or the
Yeah, the armband.
Okay.
The armband, the spoon, and the penguin.
Okay. So you gather those things, and are you taking it to the counter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pops them down.
Put them down, and she looks over to see you as like you put this stuff down, and like you look at her kind of like, I'm ready to check out type thing. And she's okay, and just goes back to cleaning. It's a cool day, isn't it?
At least like they
God,
looks at the DM. Is it cool outside or is it actually warm outside?
It's
my edibles.
Hold on. What month are we in?
I don't know. You know.
Oh, I do know.
It's summer.
It is
Dang.
summer. It's
Oh my God.
it is. I mean, it's not bad. It's decent. I'd say at this point it's probably like maybe around 68 degrees.
Okay, my ass.
Okay, 20 degrees. Okay, I had to like convert it into a European numbers.
Room temperature.
But she
Decent.
kind of
It's
she
decent.
just
It's
go-
decent outside.
it's
You want to earn some? You want to make some money or not?
Oh, are you giving out money?
You're like the
Oh,
worst.
wait,
ever.
sorry. And she kind of walks over a little bit and sorry, okay, how much?
Five gold.
Is this what you're selling?
No, this is what you are selling.
I'm selling, wait, I'm selling this?
I mean, you had it on your shelf, so I assume you're selling it.
Kind
Or
of
are
like,
people just coming in trading shit and then leaving?
kind of like looks over. Oh, this is a store. Oh, it's my store. And bends down and like looks at some papers and stuff and like finally pulls out a book and she's I'm so terribly sorry. I'm
It's
sorry.
okay.
As she's like kind of flipping through some of the pages, there is a person that walks in, like looks at something, picks up like something out of the backpack and legitly just trades and then just walks out. And there's like
But I don't
another,
want to give my shit. I want to add to my collection, not lose some parts of my collection.
but all in all, she finds the things that you have on there.
I look over her shoulder to look at it to make sure that she like I'm just like looking.
There when it comes to like the spoon, you kind of have to guide her because she just like picks a random spoon, but it has like a detail of what it looks like and like if it has anything. She's no, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. And she's oh.
No, that one
Oh.
either. No, that
And
one either.
what's funny is some of these
It's
you
not
don't
blue.
you don't even see, you haven't even seen those in the shop.
I'm
but
not even surprised.
but you find the things, and for all of this, the spoon would probably be about 2 copper pieces.
Mm.
The penguin would be it's, you see like a 2, but it's the first letter is kind of scratched out, and you just see a piece, so you don't know if it's 2 copper, 2 silver, or 2 gold.
Yeah.
And then for the armband, that is 1 gold.
I just give her 1 gold and 1 silver. I'm like, I think this should settle it.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much.
There you go.
You have a lovely store, by the way.
Thank you. I really like my store, but you know, it's also your store. It's
Oh,
our store.
really? Oh, well, that's
Yeah,
kind.
apparently it is.
What would you like for me to
Well,
do?
you can take good care of my store, okay? I'll see you around.
Oh, okay. Bye.
Have a good day.
Frogs.
Like 51st dates.
So, you get the
Oh god! Like as Elise walks out the door, she's just like, "My god,
that there
that
is
person must have been."
there is somebody who kind of like sees you and is like, are you new here?
Elise looks at him. Yes,
And-
I'm new here.
Oh, yeah, she's not all there, but you know, thank you for not stealing. Yeah, you know, you can either buy or trade. Just kind of go in, put some stuff, try to make it, you know, seem like you're trading something of same value.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would never like steal anything. That's just boring.
Well, sorry, I saw the whole thing. I didn't mean to pry. Yeah. Anyways.
That's fine. Have a good day.
So you get the you're kind of looking at the cards that you get. The cooking spoon, and I'll send this to you as well, or at least put it in the Discord. The cooking spoon adds cinnamon flavor to every dish if you use it to make anything.
Hell yeah. That's some fucking good shit right there.
I have that in real life.
The penguin token, a lot of the words are scratched out. It's like it's either gone through so many hands or somebody's unsure what exactly, but it's something about summoning.
Okay.
And then the armband, it pretty much tells you it goes from 2 separate colors, from white to red, every time the wearer hearts beat.
Okay. That's interesting.
So, those are the 3 things.
I like the spoon though already. Can like really mess with someone like, oh, I have the perfect dish. Sticks the spoon in it. Now you have cinnamon. The penguin statue. Summons question mark. And bracelet. Turns color with heartbeat. Okay. Fucking trippy as fuck when you're like in a stressful situation. Like fucking disco in your arm.
Yep. Okay. And so as you're doing that, AF.
Oh.
Anything else?
Right now I'm probably doing the I guess just trying to theorize and basically mad scientist like I did on the in Z. or no, that was an Iron Mare. Where I'm like, okay. So Loro said he had a younger brother, and that younger brother was, or little brother that was going after him. So I'm thinking, okay, little. He's about 6 feet tall, so it's anywhere from a dwarf or under, basically. And I'm just like, okay, this is great. I just gotta question every male dwarf, gnome, halfling, shorter human. Okay. He's like trying to like narrow down the field, I guess, to figure out who the 7 siblings are to help Clarence out with that.
Okay. I'll say over this course, as you two are doing your thing, so Garbu and Clarence, as you guys have gone through, going through, the city going up, and it's very interesting, as the lower area of the city, which is called no, I don't want that, you dingus. The part of the city that kind of starts to go up the mountain a little bit, you get into that district, which is called Hidden Mills, and it practically is hidden because of the waterfall that's going like right in front of it. And so it's very interesting and fascinating. It brings a whole different spectrum. It's, as the sun's out though, it is a lot more darker, if you will, here. But not like, complete darkness or anything like that. Just
I would think it's probably very pretty too, with the sun being outside of the water. It probably gives a lot of refractions from the light, and
almost like not like a disco ball, but like little rays as they shimmer across everything. But you guys take a very interesting series of whether they're elevators, and these are, obviously not machinery, but in a way to lift the platform up by a little bit more magical means than anything to certain areas. And then, of course, there are some areas you just got to walk it to. But you guys do eventually reach the top of High Bridge. There you're kind of going up, like you go around a corner, going up a little bit more, and then it kind of stops and it goes like you're directly going towards the mountain. Think of like a temple, if you will. And as you ascend some of the steps, there's a few guards that kind of stop, and you can see that most of them at the moment are like tabaxis. As there, yes, is there anything I can help you with?
Hi, my name is Garbu Dustman, and this may sound like a weird request, but I'd like to try to talk to the dragon if he's possibly in.
Tell him why. Tell him why. Tell him why. Be descriptive.
Ozoth, right? Oazoth, right? But I'm on a mission from the Platinum Dragon, where I'm trying to speak to all the different dragons. I've spoken to almost half of them so far.
You can name drop. It's cool to name drop. They'll be impressed.
I've spoken to Paragon a few times, specifically.
Give me one moment and I can check to see if Garzolf is in.
how can you pronounce that again?
So it's G-O...
Oh, sorry, I was reading the wrong one. I was reading the next one down on my thing.
Yes.
Got it.
Gozzerlth.
Gazar.
But he steps away, and you can see as he kind of like pulls up something in his hands. It looks like he's talking into it. As the other guards are they're not viewing you as a threat or anything, but they're they're just standing there peacefully watching you. And after a moment, the male tabaxi comes back and just, yes, he seems to be expecting you. If you'll follow me,
Thank you.
and he'll guide you guys in as you go up a couple of more steps up, and it starts to get to the point where you take like 20-ish so steps, and then evens out 20 more steps and evens out, and each one seems to have just a little bit more guards there, and there. And then you get to the top where there is some people that look like are coming in and out, but they seem to have an escort. There's always somebody leading them. But you guys go in. The walls themselves don't seem to be like impressive, if you will, like in some of the other cities, especially coming to the guild halls. They don't seem like, if this was to get raided, like, it seems like people could easily probably get over this or bust through, but at the same time, probably got to think like they have to go from the bottom of the mountain up here and then to fight, like, might be tired. But anyways,
Unless they come over the top.
true.
But we already know that there's patrols on that side as well.
So, you guys start to go in, and you can see just a little bit above, up the mountain, just a little bit more, slightly above the area of the guild. It looks like a decent mist. It doesn't go all the way around. It's just like a little bit of an area. But you guys venture into the guild hall, which you're led all the way through, coming into a chambers as the guard knocks on the door. Yes, who is it? The kobold that you spoke of, he's here now. Appears to be on schedule. Yep, send him in. As the door opens up. Go ahead.
Am I still
Thank
with
you.
them?
Yeah.
Can my friend come
Oh.
in as well, or?
Yeah, like, both of you are being offered to go in, or in a sense told to go in.
Thank you.
So, Garbu, I got a question.
Yeah.
So, like, all right, so these dragons are super powerful, right?
Yeah.
So, like, something that could kill the dragon would also be super powerful, right? Right. No, realistically, it would have to be really powerful, right?
Yeah.
Then why do they have all these like normal dudes with like swords just chilling? Like, wouldn't it be really
I
easy?
don't think they're protecting the dragon. There's like other things in a guild hall, like the guild hall back in Beaumont has other things inside of it than just the dragon.
All right. Well, let's.
It's
I'm
also
just
a
wondering.
fortress that has an armory in it. Like you wouldn't want random people breaking in to take stuff from an armory.
Yeah, but like, wouldn't the armory just? Never mind. All right. I guess we're not on the same page here. Let's continue.
I guess not.
No.
As you guys enter in, as the door shuts behind you, it is not what you would expect. This is something you would expect, like a high wizard, if you will. There's books all over these shelvings, all around. A very nice carpet. You got nice, elegant designs in some of the areas that can be seen. There's just a very, very faint of like tiny of smoke as it just kind of circles around in this room, and you can see as the doors are slightly opened, that looks like it leads to a balcony right outside. And you can see a really polished dark oak-like desk with looks like a couple of papers, some scrolls, a book here or there, as a really it's almost like you're looking at a man in a suit. But you know this to be as a female. She leans back a little bit. Mr. Dustman and Mr. Monofizz.
How do they know my name?
You're my brother. I
I just kind of motioned to like the wizardy stuff
Oh yeah, yeah,
around
yeah.
the room.
Yeah, that's. I assume that she probably knows a lot more
Look,
than what we would
I get a
expect.
little suspicious sometimes. Okay.
Your tension can be at ease. I know a good bit. I know where you've come from.
Have you been working with Paragon on what's happening in Sharnwick?
A little bit here and there when my attention needs.
Do you know anything more about?
And I'll like look around before I say,
Navarra?
Yes, Paragon seems to know a little bit more than I do, but I'm allowing her to take care of it.
Thank you for taking the time out of your day to see me, by the way.
I was
You're
expecting
probably
you.
busy, but oh,
As a matter of fact, I had this whole day just waiting for you. But now that you came early, tends to help more of my time, if you will.
yeah. We probably would have been here earlier, but we didn't want to just fly directly into the city.
Yeah, that
Thought
would
that
be unwise, but I was aware that you guys were close by. So I appreciate your manners. So, before we get started with this conversation of ours, how's your other companions doing?
Elise is doing well. She's shopping. Eighth went off to talk to some guards, I think, or something. And then Lero just wanted to see the waterfall, but I'm kind of worried that his brother might try and kill him while we're not around him.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Monofizz, I might ask a couple of questions about this Luro character, but we'll take care of that in another moment.
All right.
Do you have any questions?
Clarence, or is she talking?
It's like re-looking back at Clarence.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Or still Clarence?
Yeah.
Me? He's on like the dragon mission. Like, you don't want to talk to him about like dragon stuff?
I come to understand that you've been also looking for people.
Yeah, I mean, all right. So is this like a thing? Like, can she like read our minds?
I think she's probably been watching us, like how Elise's
Oh,
dad
yeah,
watches
no.
her.
That's kind of like.
Can you
sick.
watch people?
I'm watching you two right now, aren't I?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, we're getting messed with. All right. Yeah. I mean, we kind of got a lead. I don't know. Can I ask you a question? Since you seem to be plugged in.
Well, that's why
Do you-
I asked if you had any questions.
Yeah, no, we're on the same page now. It just took me a minute to catch the wheels up with the motor. So, do you know anything about my dad? Or my brothers?
No and no. The reason why is because the fact Prover tends to keep their secrets well hidden. I understand a little bit from what I'm able to gather, but they are a very privacy bunch.
Yeah, we're not real open.
But
So is
you,
Ozolith not a nice dragon?
That's the one in Prover.
oh,
I didn't know that's how you said it. That's not how
I don't know how it's said. I'm
I was
guessing.
gonna say.
look,
I, was
I
like,
have
I
like
don't-
5 million.
Like Oazo.
I thought it was
I-
Azul.
Ozulith?
Or am I thinking of the other one?
Ozulth? Maybe?
Yeah, I thought that's what it was.
I'm
Maybe
looking at the
wrong.
pronunciation beside it.
Anyways.
What?
Did I
uh,
write down my investigation notes? And
Yeah, I thought it was Azul.
blue.
it is Oazoth in a sense of how you would pronounce it. Oazul.
Ozul.
Oh, Azul.
So. He's a very particular one. He doesn't show sides. As I thought I don't show sides, he is far past the gray line. Sometimes motives are questionable. He's not the first one I would ever seek help from.
I was kind of hoping he'd be like Zealdron, who was in the other sort of inventor-based town, since they're both from inventor-based towns. But
Before we get on those type of subjects,
sorry.
Mr. Monophys,
Hello.
I don't know too much about your father. He's very well at keeping under the radar. He must be aware that there is some people who tend, regardless of who, keep tracks of others. I tend to keep track of most people. But he does where to hide. It's you a little bit that's more interesting because I do happen to remember a goblin who, let's just say, left a city with a nice impact. Or town, that is.
I mean, this is not an admission of guilt in any way, but maybe it was me. It's not like I didn't do that on purpose, like at all. Let's be real here. Like,
Whatever it is, you need to better control it. You seem to have done better recently.
yeah, I got rid of a lot of stress that was like hanging on my back or in my belly, and kind of moved forward with my life. Now I only have one death threat that's constantly looming over my head, so that's better. Less stress. Do you know how I could control it better?
Kind of like adjust, like she doesn't have glasses per se, but it's like little monocles, and she kind of just adjusts it a little bit. No.
Oh.
I am not that keen in the arcane, but something you're not normal, if that makes sense.
I'm gonna take that as a compliment.
And a compliment you shall take.
Yeah.
Now,
Stop laughing.
with
I'm
that,
still laughing. The flat no just it killed me. Just the do you know how to help? And then she was just no. She went no. And it just killed me. Sorry.
now back to the
Gotcha.
main topic at hand of why you guys are here, Mr. Dustman. Tell me, and I'm sure I've heard this before, what are you trying to achieve?
Well, trying to achieve something that I've been warned of is maybe something I should take a little more seriously, probably, and something that can be very dangerous. Trying to, and I'm sure you probably already know what my answer is going to be, but
I
trying to
know,
be
and
a
I
good
just
dragon.
and that right there is what we're going to talk about today. Tell me, what is a good dragon?
Well, not Jathler, that's for sure. He's a
No,
pretty
he's a
big
dick.
butthole. Yeah.
Yeah.
A dragon who protects people. One who tries to keep people safe. The kind like Nodrin and Zildrone who come out to help boats that are in danger.
You have a little bit more to learn. And that's the naive part of you I was expecting. First off, that dick of a dragon you're speaking of, while a dick he may be, he does far more protecting than you know.
I do know. I lived in Vermont for a while, and he was the protector there. Just I didn't expect him to be so
Let me
brash, I guess.
give you an insight on something. And maybe this will help understand when I ask you some questions later. You see, we dragons, and you can see as she takes off the little monocles and kind of adjusts her suit, if you will. We do what we want and what we please. We don't follow orders. We are not good, but we're not evil. We make decisions. We make choices. And it's something I need you to learn starting now. You see, if you give a dragon control, which is what almost every one of us here shows to have, don't you think? We are placed almost right next to every guild master in some places. We hold authority, we hold power. We can command the guild to do things even if the guild master says different. You give a dragon too much control, and they start to get power hungry. They start to take more things from people, whether they are innocent or not, in the name of themselves. That might ring a bell to you. You give a dragon just enough control, and they can become schemers, manipulating their pawns to the exact place they want to be. Both of them equally dangerous. One can start wars, one can manipulate a war. You give a dragon no control, and you start to find some being lackluster. They tend to not view what's actually important, tend not to have a care in the world. You've also met one of this. And you've also met another one who has also no control, but they do things of their own agenda. They do things that they think is right by their books, not necessarily involving their own city or guild. Both of those can lead to innocent lives lost. The point of us dragons are supposed to, as she stands up and pushes the chair back just a little bit, a squeak kind of happens. Not loud. She goes and kind of push open the balcony doors, and you can hear the wind and just very faint echo of like the city as it kind of comes up a little. We are here to protect the weak. This was like that before you were probably born, Mr. Dustman. The faction wars, for an example, could have been extremely dangerous. If it wasn't for some of us who stepped in, well, more lives probably would have been lost. So you see, every aspect that you have came across is neither good or bad. They have their own views, their own agendas, but what they do can be perceived as bad, and some, on what they do, perceive as good. I view laziness, for an example, as utterly bad, a waste of talent, and a waste of lives. Since you wanted to bring up that boat incident for an example, did you know it was her who was supposed to be watching? And when I say her, Zeldron was supposed to be watching the seas. She knew that convoy was coming, and it was her turn to take watch. But she seems to be a little too preoccupied wandering the streets of her own city to really partake in her job. I have a wonderful idea just for you, Mr. Dustman. And Mr. Monophys, this is where I would expect you to be quiet at all times. Bring them in. And you can see a guard that kind of opens up the door and brings in 3 bagged people. They have bags over their heads and just a little bit on their shoulders. Brings them in and places each 3 on their knees on the balcony. I would like to figure just a little bit more about you, Mr. Dustman. No magic. Only your instincts. You are now the judge of these 3 people and will determine if they live or die. I'll be nice enough to tell you, and starts with the left. Kind of looks like a normal build person. This one's a thief. Slowly moves her hand over the middle. And you can see this one seems to be just a little bit more bulkier. This one's a murderer. And shifts her hand to the last one on the right. And this one seems like a lot smaller build, more of a feminine style. And this one's a spy. So, Mr. Dustman, please, start with the one on the left. Should he die? Or should he live?
Am I allowed to ask him any questions?
If they're willing to answer.
Sir, can I ask you what you stole and why?
You get like kind of starts to breathe heavy. I just stole a little bit of food and money. That's all I did. I just needed it to fill my family's belly and get us by the next day. That's all.
And do I believe him?
Make an insight.
I feel like no matter what I answer, it's gonna go bad. But... A natural 20.
Ooh.
That's really good.
Okay.
I was good.
You do
Only
get
better than you said on the last one, but
Yeah.
you do get the sense that he's telling the truth. He
I ain't killing this guy.
he stole for his family.
Time out.
Yes.
Yeah.
How close am I to Garbu? I know I can't talk.
Are
we within touching range?
No. It's more like she
Your
kind
flash
of
of genius, I think you can do by just looking.
I was gonna give you enhanced
what you're
ability
saying.
by
Oh.
patting you on the back.
it's more like she
Also,
kind
dragons
of
have the true sight where they can see magical effects, so
Oh.
that might not.
It's more like she kind of like as the three people came and got led to the balcony, she kind of like suggested Garbu to go to the balcony to do this, and kind of just held her hand a little bit to you to like you stay there, almost like you're no longer here in the room. There's even the two guards in the room, but they're like back at the door and they're just stone faced there.
I'll go to the next man then. And,
So what's your judgment on him?
I don't think he should die. He was just trying to feed his family.
And what about the people he stole from? Should they not seek justice?
I think some sort of fine, or possibly being required to like work to repay the people who he stole from, may be more just than death for just stealing food.
Let me ask you, have you ever been stolen from?
Yes.
And what did you do?
Kinda, well, mostly tried to run away, but a giant creature attacked them. But I did bite a guy's throat out who was trying to kill me by tackling me off a cliff. So a little less fond of the attempted killing.
And that was it?
On our way out, we were kind of set up by more of the people, and we fought them, and it was finished there.
Make a deception on that one.
Why?
Because you guys wasn't set up. You guys chose to chase after them.
I mean, they were still ahead of us.
They
our way out.
were,
That
but
is a
you guys
deception.
chose to chase after them.
That's more my. I would have been more honest then. That's more my memory being bad.
We chased them down, and they put up a fight when we caught up to them, to the last man.
That was
So-
more my memory, just not remembering something that happened months ago.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not lying to a dragon. Do you think I'm stupid?
No, that's why I wanted to make sure and say that.
No, I just have bad memory.
So, thieving is okay under certain situations.
Yeah. It's more okay. It still shouldn't be done, but it's not. I don't think
But
he
that's
deserves
not
death
good.
for trying to feed his family.
True, but that's not good. Thieving is never good.
Yeah.
How many times have you been stealing? Just keep in mind, lying to me definitely would not be in your good situation. This is my fourth. It was my fourth time. Still want to let him live?
If he dies, who's gonna feed his family?
If he doesn't die, he
Won't that
could just
cause-
continue stealing.
Shouldn't there be something in place to try and help him from going back to that route?
If the people don't seek help, if the people don't require help. This man is not sick, he's not ill, but he continued to choose to steal.
What if fate just dealt him a bad hand?
Mr. Dustman, fate deals all of us a bad hand. Fate is cruel that way, if you ever heard that expression.
Fate must be a bad lady or something.
It's not a
Fate.
relationship. I'm fine.
Isn't somebody the god of fate?
Nope. Luck.
Oh, luck. Ah.
Unlucky. Hey, got him.
Fate is something far beyond even the gods themselves. The expression by fate's design. This man seems to have always been stealing and will always steal. You think about that judgment, and if it's even worth to continue hurting more families. Go ahead and go on the second one.
Sorry, 1 second.
Yeah, I know what you're doing.
Ouch.
Kind of sucks when you're going into heavy dialogue with the person who takes your notes.
I'm not even. Oh gosh. Yeah. That's... I can't remember the dragon's name, so I just wrote the cities they're from. So I'm like, yeah, they're from that city.
I believe I have.
I think you have the names for them, but I just.
Yeah, if you go into the info area, it will list like it lists
There you
them
go.
by guilds.
Which one is this one? Is this the No, this ain't the Enclave, is it? No.
This is the Steel Talents that you guys are currently at.
Oh.
Terrified what I'm gonna roll on my next insight check, but I'm done typing now.
Okay.
I'll go to the next one then, and
she says that you're a murderer. Who did you murder and why, or how many did you murder?
I don't remember how many. They were just being obnoxious and loud.
Your only reason?
Go ahead and judge me.
Can I insight check him, I guess. I don't think I need to if he's being even slow. Oh, it's at 21. That makes me terrified for the third one.
And this is about like just is what he said true?
Yeah. He did kill a lot, enough
He
to
he killed
care.
it doesn't you don't get a sense of how many, but you get a sense he's killed a few people for being loud. and he's not really and it's also because the fact you can't see their face, so they're like just hearing, and it's like it sounds like he doesn't care what, like he knows probably what's going to happen, and he's just like, I killed him for this reason. Hurry up, get on with it.
You killed them just for annoying you, then?
I ain't
think
got all
this-
day. Come on, hurry up.
This one's guilty, definitely. He doesn't seem to have any real empathy or really that much emotions for what he's done.
Oh, wait till the DM's done. Oh.
No, I'm listening.
Or really express any emotions for what he's done. No remorse. Even now, he just wants to get things over with. More focused on how things are annoying them, annoying him, than the repercussions of anything. So I think he deserves the full force of the law.
That's what you think?
Yeah.
Then go ahead and move on to the last one.
I didn't think about that.
And before you ask, I'll wait. Go ahead.
No. I got it.
I'll then, sorry, I was typing again.
No, I know.
I'll then walk over to the last one. I'll say,
You're a spy of some sort. Hopefully not from Beaumont, I guess, but I don't know. I guess, who did you spy for? Why were you spying? I guess. Did you have good reason behind it? Or maybe not good reason, but did you have an understandable purpose?
You see, like, almost like her body, like the other two bodies, especially the first one was definitely kind of like a little bit of shaking and kind of swerving. The one in the middle, like, just it seems like though as the wind kind of blew a little bit, he might have like shaked a little bit here and there. But the third one, like, not stone solid, just not moving, and she doesn't say a single thing. No response to your question.
I don't think I've had much experience with spies.
No, Mr. Dustman, I
Oh.
don't think you have. But I thought this would
Luro
be a
the
good test.
closest example, but Luro's a lot nicer than what this lady seems.
How many times have you met this Luro?
He travels with us now. We've become pretty good friends, maybe even brothers.
So then let me ask. You're willing to let someone who was spying on you into your group, is that correct?
Yeah.
How? Why?
He saved us when we were caught by those people who stole from us and tried to kill us. Tried to kill all of us, but at least they had some sort of favor for her or something.
I don't know if Elise explained it all to us. I don't think so. I think the guy was just like, I owe you, so I'm not going to kill you. Or something like that. Or I owe someone a favor, so I'm not going to kill you. And that's all we heard.
Did you initiate this sort of friendship with Mr. Luro?
Yeah, I think I did. I think me and Elise kind of did. Elise talked to him, and then I started waving him over whenever I saw him.
And so what's the difference now? You're willing to befriend somebody that you could see that one of your friends might have been interacting with longer than you have? Is that what it is?
More so that he saved us and that he's a very kind person. And
Did he
seems
save
genuine.
you before you guys interacted with him or after?
After. It was after. But we weren't yet hanging out with him. We had only seen him, I think, twice.
And here you're seeing this one for the first time.
Yeah.
So what's your judgment?
It's hard to judge without more information.
Hard to judge someone who's not willing to give information. Sometimes you don't get information that you want to seek. Are you someone who needs to have all the information in front of you, or do you make the choice what you see in front of you? Let me ask you, if you could use magic, would you? Would you try to persuade them? Would you try to hurt them in some sort of way to get the information you want?
I'd probably try to use Zone of Truth and talk to them, but they'd probably, based on their current predicament, stay how they are, so I might try to command them to tell me.
So you need the information. You need to have, one could say, control of the situation so you can make a confirmed judgment on one way or the other.
That would make sense, yeah. I don't. Without that, the only other thing I could think to do would be to just hold them until they were maybe more willing to talk, or someone else was able to find information on them.
Have you ever tortured anyone, Mr. Dustman?
No.
I don't think we have.
Have you been
Elise
with?
has.
Why? My friend has.
Yeah.
Have you been with
You see
anyone
Garbu.
who?
You see Garbu does like the whole, like looking up to the ceiling, thinking like, "Have I?"
No?
What about any of your friends? And she does like
Yeah.
do like a slight eye. Has Mr. Monophys tortured anyone?
No.
Not
Wait,
to
have
my
I?
knowledge, no.
Have I? I don't think I have. I'm pretty. I mean, I've killed an innocent person. Not vaguely innocent. They were mercenaries. Have I tortured somebody? Have I?
Not
I
to
mean, I haven't
Garbu's
tortured-
knowledge. So
I
Garbu
haven't
would answer
tortured someone.
no.
I've heard someone. That's for sure.
Garbu
but
would
I haven't
answer
actually
no,
tortured
because
them.
not to Garbu's knowledge.
Not with like physical pain. I think sometimes being around me might be torture, but yeah, other than that, no.
Okay.
Especially-
And what about Mr. Alucard or Miss Alonde? If I said that right.
So is that
Alandi.
Elise's last name?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew Elise's last name.
Yeah, she's got like a toolkit that she whips out whenever she wants to torture somebody. It's pretty cool. That's a joke. She does.
I know.
I'm sorry, do I look amused?
Oh, I honestly can't read you. It's like the face thing. Like, are you?
Answer the question, Mr. Dustman.
Is Elande Elise's last name? Because if so, then yes, she has.
You don't even know your own companions?
I know Alucard is 8th, but I don't. And we met Elise's family, but I didn't know their last name. I don't think she ever said it.
Speaks a little bit of a volume, but have they?
Yes, she has. 8th kind of gets tortured by his patron, which is a whole other thing. But at least shot the mayor of Charnwick in the knee and then healed him.
And how do
And
you
she
feel
views it
about
as
that?
I don't like it. I don't think that was a very good move.
Have you tried making sure that Miss Alonde hasn't continued that type of motive? Because if you're good, you try to make sure that your companions that you travel with also do good things, right? It would be probably bad of you to allow your companions to run amok with you the ability to stop them if you could.
My silence probably speaks louder than words on that point.
Yes, it does. Now, back to the judge. 3 people. What do you sentence them?
Do they all have to have the same sentence?
What do you sentence them? No, Mr. Dustman. Each one is individual.
The first, I think, should be made to repay those he's stolen from. The second should be made to probably share the same fate as those he thought were too loud. And the third should be
Any
I'd like
day
to
now,
say
Mr.
kept for
Dustman.
more questioning, but
You're the judge. Do
think
they
the
live
torture is
or
good.
die?
to live.
So the spy you want to live.
I want to ask if I can incite the dragon to see if I should answer yes. But I don't think it's that kind of a thing.
Yes.
Very well. Guard, and one of them kind of steps up. Let me see your axe for a moment. And he hands it to her. Kind of takes one of the nails and just like really sharpens the blade for a second. Here you go, Mr. Dustman. Now be the executioner. You're the one who judged. Now you gotta continue that burden and sentence out the sentence.
I look up at the dragon. I look over at Clarence. I look at the 2 people on either side of the guy, and then I look at the guy. I'll step towards them, I guess.
Do you take the axe from her?
Yeah. Do you have any final words?
Just get on with it. And he kind of like puts his head in a way so you can.
Close my eyes for just a second and kind of say a silent prayer to the platinum dragon to help that this would be the right path to take, and then I'll try and raise the axe and bring it down as I'm 2 feet tall and I don't know how big this axe is.
As you go through the motion, she's like, "So about that question."
Wait, to me?
Yeah, to you.
Oh, I'll stop.
Just make a dexterity check.
Oof. You sure it isn't strength?
Do
To
both.
try and just stop rather than go off to the side?
Do both, and we'll see
Oh, I have
what
to hit-
happens.
What is it?
1 in a
Shift.
20, baby. Pure chaos.
Dang
Do
it,
it.
it's not working. That would be the dexterity. And then d20 shift plus 2. 21
cool.
for the strength. That's why I was like, I think it'd be better for him to just stop it in the air.
So you were able to quickly hold on to it as it gets like right above his head. Is it murder bad?
Yeah.
And you're going to kill him?
Because he murdered people.
Okay, go ahead.
Wait. You're trying to point out to me that even though, like, murder's bad, you still have to do it sometimes? Or...
We'll talk after you carried out your sentence. It means you told me that he should die just because the fact he killed other people, he should meet the same fate. You are now fate.
That's what I would do if I ran into somebody who was killing people out there, and I
Just kind of like motion to the outside.
But you see, Mr. Dustman, sometimes it comes to your front door. You don't go to it. Sometimes you don't get all the questions, all the answers. You might be lucky enough to even get one thing from them. And you would have to make a choice. You chose execution, now kill him. Do it!
Did she actually do that
Do it.
part?
No.
Please tell me she
Okay, I
did
was
it.
like, oh, because I
Damn
might be in
it.
the background like,
No,
Wow,
but
this
it was
is kind of weird.
it was perfect moment.
Now, young Skywalker, you will die.
So carry out your sentence. I know you should.
Tries to get serious back into character.
what was that?
It was
Palpatine.
yeah, it was Anakin said, I should.
That's literally the clip of where it happens. I'll play it again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, try to get serious again back in character. Okay. I'll look back at Clarence again, and then I'll bring the axe down.
Okay.
Naturally,
Oh,
don't know
No,
what that.
this
Oh,
is not
okay.
something you would roll.
I was
This is
gonna say.
what a waste of a
I do
natty
have it.
one,
you
man.
if
So
you
good, would have
it
been
is a
so
waste.
funny.
again remember if you're physically fighting another person and they're fighting back, that's
I
where
would have
rolls.
had advantage technically because he would be.
I know, but this is it's only when actual combat is when most of the time rolls would be applied. Stuff like this, you just do it. If Clarence walked up to you and said he stabbed you, like, he just walks up to you and stabs you. He doesn't have to go against your armor.
So I walk up and I. No, I'm just kidding.
So you swing down with this just heavy blow as the blood just kind of splatters a little bit against you. You can hear the head roll as it kind of hits parts of the wooden part of the wall part of the balcony as the body limps over. And you want these other two to live? Or are you afraid I'm going to make you execute them too?
No.
You two must be incredibly lucky that you have such a weak-hearted judge. Guards, get them out. Take the body with you. And
I don't think it makes me weak-hearted to have compassion.
the guards kind of come over, picking them up. Compassion, you say?
The man was trying to feed his family.
But he stole from others who were also trying to feed their families. Why should one suffer because another one is suffering?
I'd rather neither of them suffered.
And what if it continues, Mr. Dustman? What if he decides to go bigger? What if someone actually gets hurt during one of the times he decides to thief again?
Guess that would be on my shoulders for making the decision to keep him alive.
It would. Are you okay with that? Knowing that you've allowed innocents to die because you couldn't kill a thief?
Yeah. I guess. But no.
And what about the spy? The fact that they could tear down cities, empires, kingdoms with the information. They could get millions slaughtered with the information they can gather. I'll even tell you a secret. Did you know during one of the battles, or almost a battle, during the Fraction Wars, I had some of my spies in the Moonlight Ashes. I knew where they were planning to attack. I knew I could have ambushed. I could have done far more damage, but instead, I had my spies destroy their siege, make it harder for them to travel, until they kind of just gave up on that little skirmish before it even started. I won't tell you how many people they killed, just to make sure that happens. I've killed a few with that choice alone and save hundreds. But if I didn't make that choice, there could have been more dead. And the same thing as in reverse. What if they knew where we were and ambushed us? But I had a chance to stop it because I had one of their own. If they got back the information that was told, or that they found out, and told it to theirs, we could have been done for. I don't know if you're motivated enough, Mr. Dustman, on this little quest of yours. I don't know if you got the full picture yet, what it means to become a dragon. You make choices that you don't like. You sometimes have to kill the petty in order to save the many. If I'm correct, isn't that something that you were probably told by someone?
I think I was told that um, few
Nicole.
may need to die to save thousands or something like that, but I don't remember the phrasing of the word petty.
Oh no, my phrasing is my own. You would have heard something a little bit more different. I do not think you know what it means. I do not think you're ready. Still naive. I almost would think you're a little bit childish, but you seem to have some sort of wits about you. But you just don't have the conviction to carry out what is needed. You may seek help from others, but from me at this time, I'm not going to tell you anything.
Thank you for this, for your time. I still think you're wrong about the thief, though I'm starting to think you were right about the spy.
She just kind of stares at you. It's not, you don't even get of hatred. It's just a blank stare, almost emotionless, to guess of what or how she could be feeling.
I'll kind of hold the axe back out.
And almost like a quick motion, she takes the axe and chucks it behind her as she grabs your throat and even holds you over the balcony, like over the drop. Clarence, I need you to make a dexterity check. Or a dexterity
Probably
saving
knock
throw
to the floor or something.
to see if you get hit by that axe or not.
I'm gonna die.
Nat
My
one,
God.
Nat one, Nat one, Nat one,
Don't do that, because then you
So
might
I just need
actually
to
roll
do
that one.
D20
Nat one,
plus
Nat one.
2.
Will it?
What? That,
Will it?
will
The
it?
existence.
Will it?
Oh my god.
I'm staring so hard at my screen.
I need to see another red on that board.
Oh, it's not working still. Oh,
Yeah,
I'll
just you can
I'll
hit.
just do acrobatics then, because it's the same modifier. Ah,
Come on, dude, not
hold
enough.
on, hold on, hold on. I'm wicked
That's a
smart.
genius.
I'm wicked smart. So it's a 14.
14. That was the
But
most Boston sounding 14 I've ever heard.
That's where I was
You
going.
but the dexterity saving throw would have been a lot
Die.
lower because you don't have the same bonus to that.
what it is?
No, it is. It's literally plus 2.
Yeah, so it would have been a. Oh, you had
Yeah.
an 8. I rolled an 8. For some reason I thought you rolled a 2.
You quickly like just drop to the floor as this axe, as it spins, just goes like right where you were and slams against one of the bookcase. You can see like about 3 to 4 books just like chopped in solid half.
Oh
As-
no, not
as-
the books.
As you can see that she's now holding Garbu like over the edge of the balcony. Is that all that you're going to give me? Thanks. Thank you for your time. Where was that burning compassion when you were staring at Jethlor, telling him to pretty much go F off?
Gathler's the dragon, or Jethlor.
Your dragon specifically, the
Bamont,
one that wanted
the
to
one
kill
in
you.
Bamont.
Okay. I couldn't remember which dragon was which because the names are
Yeah.
kind of blurry. I'm not gonna.
I don't blame you.
probably in the same place as his compassion for the people that his territorial expansion is likely going to kill.
And she squeezes just a little bit more, making it kind of hard to breathe. So that's it? You're not going to try to fight for your cause, what you've stated here on the floor? You're just going to thank me for my time? You're not going to stand up for yourself after I'm sitting here questioning everything about your judgment? Do you not understand? We dragons do not get questioned. What we say is what we mean. Where is your conviction? As she squeezes just even more harder.
I want to do something, but it's not my spot.
1 second.
Was that a nat 20?
Release.
Actually, yeah, it was a nat 20. Holy crap.
Yeah,
The dragon can
Holy
choose to
crap.
succeed.
That was an accident.
they can.
I didn't mean to roll that.
They can choose. As I'll squeeze the words out. Release.
You try that and you can see almost like it just hits,
As I'm dangling off the edge, not even thinking about that.
like it
Oh
just
my god.
hits a, like almost like a barrier, and you can see like just her eyes as it kind of starts to turn into like almost like a dark green, and then it shifts.
Did I see Garbu do that?
You just hear him saying release.
Okay. I'm just gonna hold Featherfall.
It only
then.
has a verbal component.
Oh,
Yeah. So you wouldn't see me cast any spells.
so I'm holding Featherfall because I don't know what he did, and I'm afraid he's gonna get. He's
You
over
need,
the.
you need to hold Featherfall. It's already a reaction.
Okay, well then, yeah, we're not even worried about it.
You see as her heavy dark green eyes shift back to a dull gray, and you hear the sound of what it's almost like just echoes as it starts to kind of get louder, like it's coming from her, as you can now start to feel like a little bit of her gas release, or you can feel a little bit of gas as her hand releases just a little bit from your neck, and that echoing part kind of dies down a little bit until it gets back to quiet. And she goes and puts you back on the platform. Walks over to her desk, opens a drawer and kind of grabs like a little handkerchief and just kind of, no, she doesn't. She'll walk back over and she'll hand it to you. Wipe yourself off. You still have more learning to do, Mr. Dustman. Maybe a little bit more growing up to do. I want you to think about this. I don't think you guys first off had a, and as she does kind of look a little bit towards you, Clarence, as you're like getting ready to like do something and you're just like trying to read the room, if you will. I don't believe you and your companions had a decent bath in a while.
We've just been going off of 8th prestidigitation, I think.
Yeah, we just kind of let him go bloop, and all the poop falls off.
The image.
Mr. Dustman.
Technically, how it would work, it would force all the dirt off onto the ground, I guess.
Fuck my life.
God damn it.
Mr. Dustman, I will allow you and your companions to come up tonight and enjoy the hot springs that you get out of my face that the Wurton Tops have to offer. Consider this as a gift for some of the stuff that your companions have done. I have some questions of my own which I would need to ask when the whole group is around. But for you specifically, I want you to come back with these answers, and I don't want to hear anything about a good or to become a dragon in any of those answers, or I will drown you without a second of a thought. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, you do.
Why do you want to become a dragon? What is your goal? What are your plans if you do become one? I need those answers by tonight. You two may go.
Thank you. I think.
Y'all have a wonderful day.
You as well.
Goodbye.
And just barely kind of props the, as you guys are like starting to even walk it, you can hear like the glass part as it's slowly getting close to the shut part. She just goes back, sits in a chair, puts her bifocals, if you will, on, and just continues looking over paperwork, almost like she wasn't, and just, you know, threatening one of your lives, and that a murder scene just happened outside her window, and just goes back doing normal things as you guys walk out.
Are you okay?
No.
You just freaking
Yeah.
killed a guy.
Yeah. Not the first time, but
Well,
the first
yeah, but
time, like in this scenario,
True.
he was tied up.
You completely defenseless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you okay with that? I mean, he deserved to
No.
die. He was one of the
Yeah.
ones that was bad. Also, like, yeah, like the whole like chain effect of a spy. Like, you didn't really. Do you know what treason is, right?
No.
Do you know what? Oh, yeah, you kill those guys usually, right? Like, it's just
Oh.
well, because he's gonna kill more people by not be. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the
I
reason
mean,
you killed the
Laura's
other.
like the only spy I've met, and we
He's
didn't
not
kill
a.
him.
He's not a real spy.
Isn't he though? He
Well,
spied on
kind
us.
of, but like, he cares about us, right? That spy
Yeah.
only cares about his people.
How do you know?
Well, because that's how spies work. Like, he wouldn't be betraying this entire nation or city, or whatever, if he wasn't.
But
Right?
is it betraying this city if he's not from this city?
Yes, he lives here now. Yes, like that's how that works.
Oh.
I mean, I'm not saying like you can make your own choices. I'm just saying like
Yeah,
if
that
in
one I am already questioning. But
yeah, no. I mean, and you can be a good person and still make a bad enough choice that you deserve to die.
what if you're like spying on people who deserve it?
Are we the bad guys?
Sometimes specific
Well,
situations
in
where we shoot a
Garber's
mayor in the knee.
that's not we.
I mean, we're part of that group, like she pointed
True.
out. We're probably not going to stop Elise if she does something like that again.
I probably wouldn't. I think the mayor was a douchey person, and I was cool with it. I also didn't know it happened until afterwards.
Yeah, I don't think any of us did. She just went in the room by herself, and then
Yeah.
yeah.
Are you going to be okay? First and foremost.
I kind of have some deadlines, or I'm going to get drowned. So
Well, she didn't put a timetable out, did she?
she said bye tonight. We're
Oh.
coming back to the hot springs tonight, and I guess meeting her there. And then if I don't have answers that don't include being a dragon or being good, I'm
That
going to
was
be
more of
drowned.
like a, yeah, open-ended statement, I guess. Maybe not. Yeah. Let's. So here's the plan. We leave, never come back, change our names. I'm Francis. You're Jeffrey. We make boots. We start a cobbler shop. Sound good so far?
No.
Okay. Yeah, it didn't sound good. I just figured you'd like to eat the boots.
The guard that's like in front of you guys walking, he's like, definitely not a good idea. We've actually had somebody try that before. They didn't get very far.
Yeah.
Were their
I was
boots
gonna
good?
say, dragons can move fast.
Oh my god, is he really gonna roll?
Very surprisingly, no, they were god awful.
Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna make good boots. He's a master craftsman, and so am I.
I'll
No,
make
yeah.
metal boots.
That's
First,
yeah. There you
surprisingly,
go.
People
no.
wear metal boots around here. I mean, I'm wearing metal boots, but like,
I look at the guard. Is he wearing like full armored metal boots?
No.
No. Oh, more like light armor.
His attire is more flexible for especially a guard that's this heavy. You guys have been to a couple places where they're like heavy armored guards. Like this guy has very little metal and it's more based off flexibility.
What do you want to do? Go talk to the guys?
I guess we should gather them and tell them we have a place to stay for the night.
No, I'm
Did
talking
we-
about your whole like death
Or
threat
not
thing,
for the
bro.
night, but
Wait, I'm,
I think I can answer them.
Well,
also, I don't think I should be in the room again. She like intentionally just tried to set off a bomb. I'm pretty sure because that's basically what I am. So like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think you were more collateral in the moment.
well,
rather
I
than
think she would have
so-
been collateral if you know what I'm saying.
Also, she just like swallowed a spell that I cast at her.
Yeah,
Something.
I didn't know what happened. It was kind of weird. I assumed you were just flirting. I don't know. I don't really understand how dragons work.
well, as you guys get escorted out and travel back down to meet with the rest of your group, let's go ahead and take a break for a second. We will be right back. Hey, welcome back. Alright, so where we last left off. Elise, were you doing anything else during this whole time? After you done your little shopping part?
Let's see. Hmm.
Take out a life insurance policy on Garbu.
I mean, that's why would I? That's like kind of like how do you call it? Like the money I would get since the risk is very high would be like nothing. So
That's true.
probably
You don't know the
probably
risk is
may-
very high.
I mean, no, she knows, but not because of this particular thing, because of other things. So I would probably pay more in the fee than actually get something back. I mean, I could go also look for an actual magic item, I suppose, if they have any shit there somewhere.
I assume they would.
They do.
I would go look for an actual shit.
Okay. Let's see. It seems as okay. You would mostly come across two that seems to be selling a little bit more kind of like potions, if any. They might have like very small magic items, but
What's
you
in the
don't.
small magic items?
What you say?
Potions, fuck off. I don't like consumables. You always keep saving them for not, and then you don't use them
Let's see.
until you start getting so much. You're like, I mean, I might as well use them.
Not that per se. You would have came across one. Looks like a lantern. Other than that, A few scrolls here and there, maybe. They seem very non-powerful-ish.
Boring. Elise gets bored and starts, and just then after like not finding anything interesting, she just goes to one of the shape-shifting guards and just starts looking at them shape-shifting.
Like you watch them from a distance or something, or
No, I just like would like go sort of like walk like semi near them and just look at them as they shapeshift and go like like that she like sort of letting them know that she knows. She's like,
Aeth,
Yeah.
what do you do?
I guess I'm gonna go find the waterfall. See if I can just check that out.
Not hard. It's like one of the giant things that's happening in the.
he misses the waterfall because he's blind.
Yeah. I could feel
Like
it
you
in the
can't miss
force.
it.
You can tell pretty much that in this little area is like a waterfall, but it's huge. It's too big for you to really understand.
Is there like a bench I can sit at?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna go sit there.
Okay. Eventually,
Right.
Garbu and Clarence, you two came down to the lower section of the city.
Guess we should go shop around, see if we spot Elise while we're shopping.
Sure. Did you have anything in mind?
I guess magic stuff. That's what she normally looks for, and I'd be up to look for magic stuff.
I guess we could look at magic stuff.
If not, then maybe is there anything you need? Parts for anything?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, when I get some free time, I'd like to work on the arm thing, but till then, kind of stuck.
Maybe we should meet up with Luro first since he's near the waterfall and might have his brother looking for him. Because the waterfall's right here and we don't know where Elise is, but she's somewhere down at the bottom.
Okay, we can look for Luro.
Is that not a good idea?
No, that's fine. I feel like Luro, if he didn't want to be found, he just wouldn't get found.
I don't know. Maybe. Also, is it a good idea to bring him to the hot springs with us? The dragon seemed very
Yeah, I don't.
interested. Yeah. Like, I think I'm perfectly good. I kind of already have my answers, I think.
It's been like
But
23 minutes. Like you literally just thought about it in that amount of time.
on the way down on the elevators.
Like it's not been that. So okay, well, good for you. All right.
Like some of these I kind of already had my answer for, like the goal.
True. Rich. Let's be rich. That's the goal, right?
No?
Oh, okay. Find her dad. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I guess for you.
All right. Should we invite him? Hold on.
Maybe.
Can I try to talk to Luro in my head?
What do you do?
Yo, big homie. Can you hear me?
Why does it start with big?
I don't know.
I mean,
man.
I know why it
He's
starts with
big,
big,
but like,
I thought you were gonna be like, "Yo, big dog, what up?" That's what I thought you were going for at first.
Clarence is not
Shit.
adept at speaking through telepathy. Okay.
It's your mother
Yeah.
from another brother. It's your brother from another mother.
Literally.
No. Or
Uh,
it's your brother from the same mother.
You don't hear anything.
All right. Peace out. Yeah, he ain't answering, bro.
Is
What
he
do you want
dead?
to do?
It worked yesterday. Or day
Well,
before.
I think
Yesterday.
he may have to contact me for me to contact him back. It may be like
Oh,
your
okay.
spell.
Should I contact him or should I just save that?
I don't. Do we want to invite him? Because what if he dies? I don't want him to die.
I don't think that.
You hear like just slightly over your shoulders. Who's dying?
Possibly
Old-
me, possibly you,
Old people.
possibly
it's
all
fine.
of us
No,
in
no,
theory.
only old people. Just old people.
No, I think honesty's a good policy here.
Well, okay. Let's ask him what he wants to do.
What is it that I want to do?
The dragon
So-
took an interest in you.
Yep.
But she also invited all of us to go to the hot springs.
Which will be fun.
Would you like to go to the hot springs?
By the
Even though the
waterfall.
dragon's interested in you?
There might be fish.
What's a hot spring?
Hot water?
Have you ever had a bath?
I've jumped in water before.
We're getting you a bath. Does he stink? Does he? Let's be honest. Does he stink? Can I do an insight?
Has Eighth used a prestidigitation on him at any point?
Let's just do it.
I don't
Let's
think
just
he
do it.
Mm.
lets me near him. That's
I got
the
an
problem.
insight sniff of 4.
You-
Before.
First off, that would just be perception-ish,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's
Hard
kind
to
of hard to
say.
say. It wouldn't really be perception either, but Anyways,
Wait, were
Um,
you able to hear Clarence? Is that why you came?
no, I saw you guys coming down and thought I'd come over.
Okay.
Hold on. Can you hear me? Just in my head.
He's just staring at you two.
Okay, he can't hear me. He has to call me. It's like I don't have a cell phone. I've got a beeper, right?
Nature.
Can I medicine check Clarence to see if he's okay in the head? He's bringing up
No.
devices that don't exist.
What's a device?
Yeah. I mean, I know what a device is. He invents things all the time. Those are devices.
Those are just inventions.
I mean, technically, couldn't you call a wedge a device? It's just the different way of using the terminology. Like,
You're a nerd.
I don't
you
think
could
so
refer
back
to
then.
a lot of things.
I highly
You could
doubt they
refer to
used it.
Okay, what did device define before phones
Oh
were
my
invented?
God.
You're
Yeah.
getting off track.
Okay.
Jeff, kill this character now.
But, yeah.
Alright.
You're smited by the dragon. Whatever answer it was wrong. She read your mind. Check out.
So Laura, do you think our siblings are bad people?
I don't know. I mean,
Do you think father is?
I don't know.
Do you think you're a good person?
I'd hope I am.
Okay, well, what about me?
You seem to be okay.
What about Garbu over here?
I like him.
Are you still red? Even.
Would you say that our siblings tend to make good choices for other people? Or just for themselves? Just for our family?
I remember Big Brother saying to look out for each other.
Yeah. I just worry that we go up there and something happens. I wouldn't be able to help you. I wouldn't be able to protect you.
Oh. Okay.
Now, if you're confident in your own ability to protect yourself, that's another thing. But we can't guarantee your safety.
Okay. As he kind of just looks sad now.
He looks so sad, though, man. Should we just ask him? Like, we'll just
I'll
make
just-
a trade.
I'll go over here, and he
No.
just starts to wander away.
You can come with us. I just, God.
I
We'll
don't
just-
think the dragon's gonna kill you. If anything, she might try to question you. Well, she might try to kill. I don't know. She had some very different morals.
It feels like I'm just in the way.
You're not.
No, you actually help a lot.
Yeah. It's more so we're confused on whether or not the dragon's gonna try and kill us.
Yeah, she's kind of like. Do you know the word sociopath?
No.
Yeah, that's it. I picked a big one to start with. Well, maybe a little bit selfish in a way where her needs are placed in front of other people's needs. At least
I don't
her ego.
necessarily think that's the way. Maybe the ego, but she seems to place the needs of the city over the needs of the few.
It's the many over the few, but at the same time, that's a selfish ideal. Because not every case by case basis is the same. We talked about it with the whole
She
spies
doesn't
thing.
like spies. Yeah, she
Yeah,
doesn't
well,
like.
I mean, nobody likes spies. I feel like we have an exception here. No offense, Luro. Uh, he's like a cool guy
You're
spy.
like the only spy I've met. Okay,
What's
How about we go?
What's a spy?
somebody who watches people without them knowing to gather information and some other things, but I
And
don't
that's
necessarily know.
cool.
No,
Sometime. No, not really.
depends who you ask.
Oh.
I mean, it's illegal. Like,
Oh, okay.
It really depends who you ask.
I mean, I'd say 95% of people or more would say that, yeah, that's bad.
Yeah,
Spying is
yeah.
bad. Like,
Majority of people would say that.
if we're doing
So-
truth talks here, we'll just do truth talks, right?
So I'm a bad person?
No, sometimes good people do bad things. Like you've seen us kill a few people. That's a bad thing, but not always is it bad to do the bad thing. I guess it's weird.
He just kind of sits quiet.
Parents, I'm not good at this.
Yeah, me either, dude. Like, it's
Yeah.
like,
We're like very uncharismatic individuals.
how about this? Would you like to go to the hot springs with us?
If it's okay.
I mean, it's not like it's like we.
I don't want to be in the way.
Oh my god, we're doing
I
it
think
again.
it's like a 60-40 on the chances.
It's like watching a puppy cry, man. Like I can't do it. Yes, you can come with us. Let's go talk to Elise and make sure that's a good idea.
Okay.
All right. Also, you have money, and we're going to see like a bunch of shops. Do you want to spend your money?
No.
I'm not sure. Wait, what? I mean,
Do you
this
think-
is like, yeah, like.
Where do you
don't
think
have to
Ace
spend it
went?
all.
Do you think he went to like the guards' quarters to talk to guards, or
Yeah, unless there's like a. Never mind. I was gonna show you a sale on single shoes or something. I don't know. It's.
Wait, he has both feet.
Yeah, I know. That's why it didn't make sense. Single.
Maybe
gloves.
single.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh. No. I don't know. I honestly don't remember him saying what he was gonna do.
I thought he said he was gonna gather information or something.
Oh, investigate. Yeah.
I think that would maybe be talking to guards, but I don't know. Thorough, do you know where Eighth is? Have you seen him at all?
No, I haven't.
Can you like talk to him and maybe talk to Elise and see where they both are?
Can he only talk to his brothers? I thought.
I don't know how it works. He talked to me.
Oh yeah. Well, you're.
At least
That's-
Elise. I know Eighth kind of scares you a bit.
But do they want to talk to someone who's bad?
You're not bad. I mean, you saved us. Saving people is good.
I know, but you said people don't like spies and said I'm a spy.
Just because people
least
don't like you doesn't
you-
mean you're bad.
You hear a very sad lure, just we're by the waterfall if you want to meet us.
Someone take your toy or what? You sound sad.
I was told I was a spy and people don't like spies.
Sucks to suck. Whatever, I'm coming. Look at the. Give one more hard look at the guy shape shifting around all the time.
He's like he's already caught on, and he like hasn't done anything. He's just been staring at you.
He's just saying one form.
We're just like staring at each other. It's like.
Air down.
You're like, are you gonna do it?
Yeah.
And he's just like, why is this crazy lady staring at me?
And then I just give him finger guns and I walk away.
Do that. Like
Um,
you turn away, then you turn back right away to see if he changed again.
Yeah, and then as I do that, I quickly look back. I'm like,
He's gone.
ha!
Damn it.
I do. Then I walk away.
Aeth, you hear the same sad message.
It's like I'm right here.
Something wrong?
What?
I mean, I'm already by the waterfall. I don't know where you guys are.
Can we see 8th?
No, it's a pretty big area.
Okay.
I guess we just walked like the perimeter of the waterfall.
I mean, I can make myself bigger.
At a little
No,
bit
no,
of
no,
time,
no.
if Aeth also helps, if not, it doesn't matter. But a little bit of time, you guys are all able to group up, like 30 minutes, an hour ish. Maybe not even that long. 30 minutes sound good.
How was
Who
your?
stole his
how was
toy?
your-
Who made him sad?
Do we need to go?
There was a conversation about spies not being liked and how spies are bad, and Lero now
I mean,
feels
spice is
bad.
sometimes necessary, no?
And he's like 10 feet away, just like sulking.
I mean, I feel like the whole conversation of bad and good is already a loaded thing and up
Yeah.
for debate and
Very
specific.
More, it was
Subjective.
more. I think what got him more was the spies not being liked.
Why
I mean,
were you
spies
guys
are not
talking
being
about
liked by the
spies?
person who spy. Isn't it like people don't like spies when they're getting spied on, but when people spy for them, they like it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So isn't it
So-
then hypocritical for disliking spies when they spy on you?
Yes.
But then you like it when you do it for you.
I'm confused, but yes, I guess.
So good. So Lyra, get back over here. Stop being sad because they just don't get it.
I'm so confused.
They're
Okay.
confused now. So Anyway.
So, what was the reason
what-
for the spy talk?
Oh, you guys like hot springs? The dragon invited us to go to the hot springs.
Also, Garbu murdered a guy.
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, he was a
Yeah.
murderer though. But
No, yeah,
Oh,
it was
okay.
capital punishment.
yeah, no, he
Oh, okay.
murdered a lot of people and
Okay.
felt like no remorse for it at all.
Okay.
He only shook when the
alright.
wind blew on him, which I think may have more been just like chills from the wind. Because
Okay.
we were up really high on a balcony, but like I also let 2 people live, one of which was a spy, but I'm questioning that decision still because I
Maybe
got
just-
told about some situations where not killing a spy could have caused thousands of people to die. So
So you got put on the spot.
yeah,
So, was that a test from the dragon then?
But that most definitely was a test from the dragon.
oh, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, most
Okay.
100%.
You didn't know that yet? Like,
Like I thought it might be, but like I wasn't sure if that was a test or just wanted me to. I don't know.
Sounds like it was a test. Maybe she was.
I'm still pretty set on the first guy being kept alive. He was just trying to feed his family.
What? How was he going about that?
Stole some food for them
some money.
4 times.
I would've. Why didn't you just cut off his hand then?
I mean,
Seems I said that I
Man.
thought he should have to repay what he stole.
as long as it's a non-violent crime, right? Did you ask whether it was not non-violent or not?
I think it was established that it hadn't been yet, but she thought it would become violent eventually.
Then there you go.
Mm. You never know with that kind of thing. Sometimes when people are stealing something, it can turn violent.
Man, I'm not in the mood for all this fucking hard talk. Let's go.
Go for
You
that
to go to
top
hospital and chill.
It's
Or,
only
I don't
like
know what.
noon right now, I think.
Oh, what is,
Yeah,
is there a time thing? I thought we could go now.
Well, she said
Yeah.
this evening, so I just kind of assumed that she meant in the evening. Apparently, I was like right on time to show up.
Does
Well,
this include like a full spa service where we can like sleep, or do we need to find places to stay?
I think she said to stay there and go to the
Like,
spa, but I'm not sure. If
are we?
not, we can probably find somewhere to stay in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be
I
the.
mean, you was in the room too, Clarence.
Well, I can't remember. That's what I was saying. I can't remember if she's
she
gonna put
just
us
she
memory.
just said
I
later
got a
ton
lot of information.
later tonight. I'm inviting you guys to this place. If you, it's like if you want to accept it or not, and then told Garbu like
I have to go or I'm gonna be drowned.
I need these
I have to
answers.
come with answers as well. But I'm not. I haven't said that part yet.
So
Do I? Still daylight, so it's early afternoon.
Yeah, I think we are right around noon, right? Because it was like 10ish when
yeah,
we.
it's
came
around
in.
noonish time.
So probably lunchtime, and then maybe shop or something.
Already did shopping was pretty okay.
Anything good?
Nah, just pretty okay.
I was trying to.
Unless you like potions and shit, but potions are like don't like them. So were there any fish in the water from the pond there? Or what?
Hmm?
Like a lure.
Yeah, there's
I mean, I know you can't see them. That's why I'm asking you.
there's fishes there.
But can you also talk to fishes?
Yes, but they're a bit tricky.
Why? Because they swim away, or because they say weird things?
It's the accent.
I don't know. It's like it's not like when I speak to other animals. It just seems I don't know, hard to understand a little bit. There was
It's
one
because they
time
were talking underwater.
maybe there was this one time one of them was saying something very weird and a lot of stuff I didn't understand. He seemed very adamant about something.
About what? Do you remember? Sounds interesting.
I don't know. It was kind of scary a little bit, to be fair. He was just angry.
Sounds fun.
I just threw him back in the water.
Yeah, maybe he was angry because you took him out of the water. And if you take a fish out of the water, they die.
That's probably exactly it.
I thought it.
Out of character. Out of character right now. That's 100% probably exactly it. It's
Probably
just the
really
fish
mad
was-
at you because you're like essentially slowly
It'd be
killing him by
the
suffocating
it'd be the
him.
opposite of drowning. They'd be I guess still kind of drowning but in the air instead of the water. And that's probably why they didn't sound very clear is cuz they couldn't speak.
I don't know. That's kind of just when I stopped trying to talk to fish.
Okay, so for the record, I'll explain this quick biology lesson. When you take a fish out of the water, they die. They go because they need the water to breathe. But air is to us is water to them. So if you take them out of the water, they die. If you put us in the water, we die.
Wow.
Face first. Well, entirely, I mean.
If we don't have a
Kind of
spell
vice
up for it.
versa. Yeah. Versa vice.
So you can probably talk to fish, but if they're in the water,
Actually, that makes a lot of sense.
very good.
Oh my
It's
Yeah,
like the
something new today.
very first intelligent part of just like, yes, that is correct.
Yeah, you learn something today. Like every day we learn something new.
Should we start teaching Garbu stuff, like a school, like because he's a kid and stuff, or not Garbu?
I mean-
sorry. Well, Garbu too.
I
Actually.
mean, yeah, Garby too. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
now
like
that we're
at least
thinking
looks
about
like I mean, like.
Should
in
we
this
start a
case,
school?
No. I'm not fucking
I'm not
homeschooling them.
Look,
I can count to like
5.
probably at least a couple hundred.
Oh,
Man, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
What happens after that, though?
Nothing.
I
Void.
can count to at least a couple hundred.
Yeah, but like, what happens
So-
after that?
If you guys don't really
200?
have any other options of
Rails
doing
up into
things,
random conversations throughout the day and random.
you guys
shenanigans.
could, have probably went got some lunch or whatever, and as it starts to get dark, you guys can then head on up. And it's not like it's super late in the night. It's just like one of those everybody's still open, lights being lit and stuff like that. But you guys head up back to High Bridge, up to the Guild Hall as the guards kind of confront you again. And the same one that you guys have spoken to way earlier, and he's like, "Oh, you guys have came back."
What, we're not supposed to come back? Oh, but I've never been here before.
Don't know on that part.
Any reason for your arrival?
Well, they said the dragon wanted us.
We were invited to the hot springs.
Okay, give me one
Oh.
moment.
Also, he said we would get complimentary cucumber water. It was mentioned.
What? What's
But that
cucumber?
was
Not-
that
He-
wasn't
What the
mentioned.
hell is cucumbers?
He walks away and comes back
in his
after a
paw.
minute or two.
I know.
Very well.
My friend will also accept pickle juice.
God damn it.
He can go get his own. Come with me. And you guys start walking up the steps. If anybody wants to, besides AF, make a history check. If anybody, if anybody wants to.
Ah.
Oh my god.
If anybody wants, sorry, I cut
History.
out what?
Yeah,
History?
if
Oh.
anybody wants to make a history check, you can.
Oh yeah, boo! 2!
And you know what? I'm gonna
Will-
use
You're
My
flying out to
secret
the 2, right?
power. 22.
Huh? Oh yeah, I have a 2, I don't care.
Let's see.
We're good.
Are you odds or
Garu-
evens today?
Even.
Ah,
So Garu's 15.
plus-
What, 18
plus-
plus what?
4.
Four.
So 22.
22. Okay.
Oh, blah, blah.
As you guys are kind of like slightly conversating or just like looking around, yeah, you happen to see this one individual as he's just walking downwards, and he looks very familiar. He looks like you think he was one of those who partaked in the final rumble, if you will, during the festival.
Oh, the champion here.
As you see, just very faint. It's mostly the tail that you get just a little bit of the colors of like yellow with kind of like brownish like polka dots as he walks down.
Yeah, that's the champion.
Yeah, but the one who
champ-
got their ass kicked. The one who got their ass kicked by that guy from the dark place.
Yeah, I think anybody would have. The dragons got beat up by the guy, like literally taking control of.
No, not the dark place. Like
No.
one of the one of the other champions from the place people.
Oh
don't like.
yeah.
Dark
I thought you
Eye.
meant-
The
yeah.
other, I can't
The-
remember their names. I always forget.
The Dark Sons.
The Dark Sun. Was it the? Oh, the English like oh, it's actually good, correct. I just say that loudly. Oh, you got his ass. They got their ass kicked by the guy from the Dark Suns.
What are we talking about? Sorry,
Yeah,
Oh.
that person over there apparently the champion of this place.
I can't. You know,
Yeah, they're walking over there. The person who walked past us, you can like sense them walking.
yeah, but I can't tell who it is. It's just a rough outline of a person.
Okay.
So, you guys are led all the way through, kind of going even a little bit higher into the, and there's just a lot of steps, but it's into like the little mist, where you can start to hear the sound of like water here and there as you come up to. There's just like a tiny little building, and as you guys enter in, the guard kind of gestures for you all to go in, and I'll be waiting at the bottom of the stairs for you all when you decide to leave.
I should just fucking go.
And he turns around and just starts
Let
walking
your door
down.
next time.
How can you be
fuck.
how can you be tired? We've spent like fucking days walking.
I know, but I don't like going upstairs.
Actually, we've been flying a lot more lately.
Yeah, but still, it's not like we lose our form after like a few times flying.
Aether has gotten
Yeah.
fat, okay? He's blind and fat now.
Hey,
No,
you're
I,
like,
just, I hate
It's
hey,
stairs.
you're getting a belly. You need to like cut off on the
Can.
rations, man. You're eating too much.
The prosthetic's not gonna fit if you get too big, man. It's just gonna
He
pop
also
off
is
in the-
carrying around like a, what is it, 100-pound arm?
Yeah, but
Or
how does he
something
get
like
fat
that.
when carrying around a 100% arm? Look at him. He's getting a belly.
Well, I'm
like, at
saying
least
that
poke-
that's
at
the
least
weight
pokes
that he's
it.
gained.
There's not much to poke there.
It's like
There
the what is it? The
No.
Doughboy's belly.
Okay.
Anyways, there is two people who are dressed a little bit more, kind of like service, if you will, and has kind of brought you some towels and showed you some change rooms that you guys could go and change in. And then once you guys have done that, they lead you kind of out back, and there is some small, some big, and you see very few, like maybe 3 or 4 people that are kind of like in the springs, relaxing or doing whatever they're doing. But you guys are told that you all, as this individual suggests to Clarence, Aeth, and Elise, you all may either join the I don't know what you all may either join Gazareth in the top spring, or you can go partake in your own individual spring. It was left up to your choice.
What? Who's
But
Gazareth?
that's the dragon.
Yeah.
I think I should go up there.
Do you want me to go with you?
Probably should go alone, possibly.
Okay, I just would double check, like for moral support. Like, I don't want to. Honestly, I don't want to. Because if you're getting like choked, I'm okay.
We're
Can
sure
I-
you should go alone?
Can I cast
Yeah.
a spell on you to help you?
I think she would know that that's
Would she look on it favorably or unfavorably?
probably unfavorably.
Okay.
Probably see it depending on the spell, I guess, but as cheating, more or less. Or cheating might be the wrong word, but just as a cheap trick.
Love that bit.
Buddy, I'm asking. I'll do what you want.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like cast it on you.
Yeah, whatever. She probably call us over later anyway, right? Or what? What's the deal?
Well, yeah.
He
let's
did,
just-
I think, want to talk to the rest of you, so
It's
Oh.
it's whatever your guys' call. You were pretty much told that you guys can go up there all together, or you can go do your own thing, enjoy your own private bath, if you will. Totally up to you.
You want to do it by yourself?
Did we already take off like our armor or whatever?
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
are just in robes, pretty much.
I left the glasses on.
Mm.
But yeah, that's the only thing.
What's the point of the glasses?
We're gonna get fogged up.
Listen,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
won't know they're fogged up.
That's true.
yeah.
Point. We're gonna have to help him get in the water anyway.
Just kick him in the water.
Yeah, I
I'm
think I
blind. I'm
should
not
Wait,
go
deaf.
up
I
and
ruined my plans. I said them out loud. Or did I? Anyway, you can go first. We'll come later when you've done your solo shit. Okay, unless you get. Never mind. I never heard any of that. Well, you can go first.
Yeah, you don't
We'll
know
see
that
what you-
she plans.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
do.
I wanted to make fun comments, but I can't because I didn't know. Anyway, come, blind fuck. Let's go take a bath.
The only time he can bathe with a woman, not
I'm
And
not
as we get to
doing
the water, I
anything.
just yeet him into it. Like I pretend like, oh, it's a little bit more, and then I just yeet him into it.
Kind of splashes for a second. PTSD.
Uh,
Do they have
Don't
Yeah,
do
arms?
that.
wasn't he good at swimming? Didn't he win like a swimming competition?
He
So-
was, but it was
Yes.
just the sudden pushing and the fact of probably his patron.
like, does he look panicked when he splashes around?
I don't know. That's up to him.
No.
Oh,
Well, I kind of told him.
I
he should
can
have knew
I
that I was
can
gonna yeet him.
only have so much fun at my own whim.
Ah,
Anyway,
oh.
I also hop in, but after I've yeeted him.
Okay, Clarence,
I put floaties on and hop in.
do you join? Do you join
Damn
them? Do you
it.
go to your own thing?
I'll
There
join
is
them.
there is a lot of like think of just a lot of little holes that are filled up everywhere. There's some that are like decent size, some that are really small.
I'll go with them if it's a medium-sized one. I don't want to go in them if it's like a two-person one and I'm just squeezing in the middle. Like, hey boys.
Whoa.
Hey, that's up to you guys. But Garber,
Medium size.
Is Luro with us?
you invited him.
Why? Yeah, we don't know. Did he come?
Yeah. I would
Is
say
he
it's
the friend
probably
of-
it's probably a little bit more of Elise who was just like telling him to come on.
He won't even
But-
look at me, so.
But he does seem intrigued about all of this, but you guys can make an insight if you want. Including you,
Sure.
AF.
Separated off at this point.
Yeah!
Aw, that's so cute.
Woo!
Oh,
Oh
14?
gosh.
17.
1/8. Oh,
7!
7.
Ooh. Sucks
Mm.
to suck, you know?
If you don't really get to kind of like understand it, if you will,
Eight's
as
in the water by the time this is happening.
yeah. But both of you, Clarence and Elise, Elise, you understand a little bit more that it's like while you guys are in, and he seems to enjoy this, he seems to be putting a little bit of distance between him and Clarence. Like wherever Clarence is at, he tries to go a little bit to the opposite side of.
Can I slowly, like, inch towards him?
It's like when you try to get close to him, he tries to shift, and it's not like he's like in a way like staring at you like no, don't come close, but it seems like he's keeping track where you are and is just like trying to shift in places where you're not, like he doesn't want to be around you.
Okay, what did I do? I mean, I'll leave, but like, what did I do?
What?
No, not you. He knows I'm talking to him. He's not dumb.
You said you couldn't protect me.
No, I can't. From some things, like a dragon, you couldn't protect me from a dragon.
I'm not good at fighting.
Well, I'm
Bro-
not good at fighting either.
Big brother said he'd always protect me.
He
That
died.
Is that true? Has he always protected you? Well,
If I was
I'm-
if I was an absolute chaos monkey, I would literally attack him right now and then be like, "Where's your brother now, bitch?"
Well, you could also point out the cave where he was
Yeah, no.
grabbed.
I don't think I don't think that's entirely true, man. But also, aren't you my big brother?
I mean, yes,
So,
but
how about this? We just protect each other.
you said you couldn't protect me.
Not in that situation, no.
And as that's happening, Garby, are you going up?
Yeah.
So you go up and you kind of go up a couple of more steps, kind of slowly left and right, dodging some of the natural
Itty bitty
structures of the.
2-foot tall kobold.
But you come up to the very top where it's just this really big, uh, hot spring itself, and you can see as the mist just barely kind of opens, in her human form still, as Gazareth is just sitting there. I know this might be a little too deep for you, but I'm sure you can swim.
Eddie?
I think
You're a
we
lizard.
discussed and I did learn how to swim since it was a port city. It's just I'm normally in heavy armor that
Lizards can swim.
I'll step in.
It's like as you step, it's just like an instant drop in.
Tread water for a second until I get more into a pattern.
There seems to be a very shallow rock in the middle of all of this that you can kind of hold on to because of your small nature, that it seems to at least be actually perfect for you. But if it was anybody bigger, it'd probably be a really hard time to hold yourself
kinda
to it.
Perch myself on that rock then.
Well,
I hope your day was good. Last time we saw each other, we wished each other a good day. I spent mine shopping with my friends. That was pretty nice.
that is good. So we don't offer too many shops that you would find in probably other places. We
Some interesting things.
we tend to allow more open trade and travelers kind of through here, so it's a hit or miss to find any of the big ones. But I'm at least happy to hear that you were able to finish off your day enjoyable.
Die.
So, have you
What about
had
I
any
do
feelings
have
about what
answers.
happened?
Yeah, I've since then had some more conversations about the spy, and it does sound like I may have made some wrong decision there. I still stand pretty firm on my first decision, but you didn't answer my question though. I asked how your day was.
Work. It's tough when there's so many information that has to go around, and you got to determine what is and what is not important. It's not that I tell this much to anybody, but being in our humanoid form almost feels like you get to soak the skin underneath the scales. It's quite enjoyable.
I don't really know what that would be like, I guess. I just have the scales.
True, I guess. I guess
It
it's
does
just
feel
a
nice
guilty
still.
pleasure for only some of us to enjoy.
Yeah. So some of the questions I kind of already had answers for, but I do have answers for the others.
Hold that thought. And just kind
Alright.
of just slowly sinks underwater for a second.
Shit.
So, as the minutes go by on that, what are you guys doing?
So what do you think they're talking about up there?
Don't know. Don't really care, to be honest.
I don't know.
Why'd she want to see all of us?
We're a driving
don't know.
force in the continent?
Are we?
I guess, technically.
Just a bunch of idiots doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
And
That doesn't
occasionally
mean
do
we don't
some
have
good.
impacts.
It's fun though. Sometimes. I mean, you get
Reckless
tied up
too.
and your shit gets taken, and you have to like then fall off a cliff and then murder everyone who tried to to plan your later murder.
Or
Weird
get
situation.
or pay our way onto a ship and then the ship gets sunk.
Or
Yeah,
make a
whatever.
man lose his memories for the last 10 years.
That was
Don't
your
remind
fault.
me of that.
Ah, it's his fault. He made a mistake in his mind.
Well, you took him in there. You could have asked anyone else of us to come with you.
He
As
volunteered.
as you guys are kind of talking, like it looks like it gets just like a little bit more of a heavy mist, but you guys, it feels like it's common up here with so many hot springs and stuff like that. But you still continue to have the conversations back and forth, even though at times like you can see them, you can't see them, but you hear them still the same. Aeth, you hear just a faint whisper. Sounds like somebody just like in the next bath over kind of to you. We need to talk.
Time to get
I'm gonna,
drunk, bitch. Just kidding.
I'm gonna get up and get out of the spot and head towards where I heard it.
Where you going?
I'll be right back.
He's got to poop. All right, like I was saying.
He just gets in the next spring over. But again, it's heavy misty. So but you get in and you can feel a very familiarity of who's next to you. It's not often I get to enjoy things like this. Very hard to come by. It's mostly cold, dark.
The ocean.
Who else would it be?
What do you want?
That group you interacted with the other day, what did they look like?
They wore cloaks. They're looking for something important. Was that gnome that we were with?
Could you
Why do you
tell
care?
any features of them?
You're asking the wrong one.
I mean, we told you, so you probably can repeat what we told you.
I'll tell her then.
I mean, we're obviously very much aware that you can't see, so we need to tell you these kind of things.
From what I was told, this is what the features that they had.
I had a different feeling. Something felt familiar.
About the jewel?
No, I don't give two rats' ass about that. The person that you were talking to,
The leader?
they were dangerous.
I was aware.
I wouldn't have been able to help you there.
What is he? If he's so dangerous?
I can't be for certain. Something kind of masked itself. But there's something familiar and got a little sense of me. If you ever see those people again, I would not engage. At least, If you want to die, that is.
You're scared of them.
Scared of them? No. The fact that you have been brought to my door and I have to take care of you, this is me doing it. Telling you to not fight something or you would die. How hard is that to understand?
Not very, but I'm not just gonna let them do whatever they want if it comes to that, if they are trying to attack my friends.
You may not have a choice. Do you understand? I sense me. I sense like another part of me was there.
What does that even mean?
Is he a follower of you?
Probably, I guess, but they don't seem familiar at the same time. What you described, that I don't recognize that. I'm just trying to give you a friendly warning, okay? You seem to at least understand to stop pestering me about little problems of yours. And so I thought I would reward you by telling you don't or you die. I feel like that's pretty rewarding enough, don't you think?
Depends on who you're asking.
And have you gained weight?
I have not.
Poke the belly, do it.
It's like a slap on the belly.
There's no fucking belly. Ah.
It's canon.
No.
It
The
got
DM
chubby
did
from all the
acknowledge
flying.
it.
Not canon.
The DM did acknowledge it.
It got chubby from flying too much.
Oh my. Okay. Jeez.
Need to start working out more, I guess.
Let me ask, have you figured it out though? Or have you even figured anything out? Have you learned your lesson?
I don't need to rely on you or Minnie for support. Just need to rely on myself for that support, and then provide the support for my friends.
And it took how many drownings for you to ever fucking figure that shit out?
Wow. Rude.
2 drownings?
Seems like a low number.
Huh.
As you say that, you get sucked down in.
Motherfucker.
Now I get to enjoy this for a little bit. So, Garbu,
Not bad.
after a few minutes, she comes back up. Oh, just like this. You can feel the breath of her as she kind of lets it out and just kind of like slightly offsetting, but you know, no harm, no foul. Okay. What is your answers?
To start with, I'll go in order, I guess. But I kind of thought I was a dragon for a while, or at least that I was already a dragon. But the more I've seen what an actual dragon is, the more I've come to understand how much I've not actually been a dragon. That I'm just a kobold, a small kobold, as some dragons put it, a worm, more or less. But even as a kobold, I've still already saved lives, and I've been strong enough to defend some others, if not all. But the reason I want to become a dragon is because as a dragon, I'd be able to save more, and I know it would allow me to be able to save thousands compared to putting at risk hundreds. And I'd be able to help defend those who are innocent. I can move on to the next question.
Please go ahead.
My goal,
As she
would
like
be-
just sinks a little bit, like her eyes just piercing through the fog, staring at you. But her like that's all you see is just the eyes.
my goal currently is kind of to try to find the person behind what happened at the Golden Summit and try to find more information on where the actual shield is, as well as possibly trying to figure out what's happening to what's his name, Hansu,
Hansu.
and how to maybe help him come back to who he was, as well as being able to protect and provide for those who need me, like my ma and pa, and to be strong enough to face the challenges that are before me and my friends, and also make my parents proud.
Well, she just lifts up a little bit to speak. Are you prepared to make the tough choices to where if you have to do what's necessary, even if it's not good,
Yes.
how convinced are you that you can do that? If I told you right now, if you could bring back Hansu, let's say you could, but you had to kill one of your friends to do it, would you?
Can I see them from where I am, or I'm kind of in the center of the.
You're in the center of the pool, so no, you, because again, you not only did you walk up, but like you went into the center of this really big pool, so you wouldn't be able to see them.
I guess I'll look back to the entrance of the pool, like the steps that led up,
That would make
which
sense.
would have been like the last kind of area that I might have been able to see them. No, probably not. Depending on which friend, I guess.
If it had to be any of them. Could you do it?
Yeah. Could I is different than would I.
But would you then?
If I had the choice, no. But if there was no other choice, I know Hanzu can probably protect a lot more people than what my friends can.
I want you to keep this in your mind. As you hear like these echoings happen, again as like it gets louder and louder, and you start to feel like you hear warfare. The sound of screeching dragons through the air as their wings slice through it like it's nothing. The sound of people's screams. Some sound like a battle cry, some sound of agony. As you even hear the sound of some dragons releasing their powerful weapon as their breath. Probably even look around a little bit thinking that it's so real. But then it dies back down and you just see once again the gaze of her. We had to make the choice to kill our fellow kind, the ones that we grew up with and we died with, was reborn with, to see where I am today. I, being a few, turned on our own kind instead of continuing the onslaught of one side destroying the other. If you cannot make that choice, if something like that ever arises, you may not just be enough. You need conviction and understanding. Tough choices are not easy. They're not pleasant, and you don't get it your way. I still don't think you're quite ready for this. But I'm not stopping you from continuing your journey. I want you to understand what we are. We are beasts, killers, destruction. We can level mountains. We can burn the skies itself. But everything comes at a cost. The ones that are still alive today didn't want to see any more lives lost. And we had to make a very hard choice to turn on our own kind to save many more. Would you like some clues too about your shield journey?
Just 1 second.
That's fine. As we go to Clarence and Elise. And Luro. You guys... It's been a couple of minutes or so. And then at some point, Eighth walked out. Got into another one. Another
I
separate
think it's
path.
dead. Guess we'll go look for fish up his corpse later, I suppose.
Yeah, I just kind of assumed he was gonna die when we came to a hot springs.
I mean, he won a swimming competition, but
Did he though?
yeah, he did.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, you're right.
You guys sound like just
But
like the
he's been
stars
gone
that they
for
don't
they were
send.
gone for a long time, so I think he probably went bye bye. Unlucky, right?
Yeah. Think Garby's gonna be all right?
I don't know. Dragons are self-absorbed pieces of shit, so who knows?
Yeah, I've kind of noticed a pattern there.
It's all like, ooh, it's a high and mighty, we're dragons, we cool, and I'm like, eh. Just that people are scared of them. Because they're big, but, you know.
And they're smart.
I mean, they pretend they're smart.
Well,
It's all about keeping an illusion, fake it until you make it, right? I mean, that dragon in the in Beaumont didn't sound too fucking intelligent.
what about you, Laura? Do you like dragons?
Well, I mean, they are big and scary.
But do you know like how like a pack of wolves can bring down a big animal?
I don't know. I try not to really be in something that seems scary.
No, but I'm just talking about how wolves can take down a big animal. It's like just because the animal is big and scary and you can't take them on alone doesn't mean you can't find others to help you take them down.
I guess.
Like they're not gods. They're just strong.
I wouldn't know. I'm not strong at all.
I mean, how do you know?
I can't fight.
Sure about that? I mean, I don't fight either.
All I can do is just watch. It's just what I'm good at.
Yeah, but maybe someone has never cultivated your other talents that are hidden.
Does that make me special?
I mean, we're all special in our own way, aren't we?
I guess.
You like what
I mean-
Elise does with the animals and stuff like that?
I mean, I like talking to animals. They make me feel comfortable. They're nice, and I haven't really. Well, I try not to be around when there's danger or if something looks scary, I just go away.
Have you ever tried hurting something?
No,
Why not?
I don't like to.
Well, what if you have to?
Mm-mm.
And you can't run forever.
And just kind of sits there in quiet.
I mean, when they hurt you, I mean, like, what if someone else hurts you? Are you just gonna let them?
I just try not to be there.
Sometimes you need to defend yourself. And what if someone hurts someone you care about? Are you just gonna let them, or are you gonna run away?
I mean, I tried to help y'all. Because you were nice to me.
Yeah, I'm not telling you to go out hurting people. I'm just saying. Maybe there's something hidden that you don't know about, and just because you can't stab someone doesn't mean you don't have the capacity to do something else.
I just don't think I can.
Is that what they told you?
I just don't like violence. I don't like seeing others beat up others.
I mean, I'm not something. It's not something I'm a huge fan of, but in this world, sometimes, like very often, you're not left with any choice. Especially when you don't have a special talent of running away like you have. Like we don't get the choice of running away.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. We all. Some people have nothing. Some people have specific skills. It's what it is. But I'm just saying, just because you think you can't doesn't mean you cannot. I mean, when I was young, I didn't think I could do all these things, but here we are.
He kind of looks up a little bit. Should we go check on little brother?
Ooh,
The little brother.
He's talking about
Look
Garbu.
at Claire. Did I zone out during some conversation? Oh,
So like, Garbu's like my brother, and he's
Uh.
like my brother. So like, they're our
Uh.
brother.
Okay.
Yep. No.
I mean, I thought we made a talk about like going one by one. So
Well, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know how this is gonna work. I don't care. It's up to you guys.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like isn't this like Garbu's whole mission? And isn't that something that he needs to do alone and then stuff?
I hope he's okay.
I mean, you could always like give him a little brain question, be like, "What's going on, homie? You all right?"
Is that okay to do?
I don't think it's illegal.
What's illegal? I mean, there's no like, how is this like? There's no laws for like talking to people in their heads.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what are they gonna do? Say, "Oh, you're going to jail now"?
I don't want to go
Straight
to
to jail.
jail.
You breathe straight to jail.
So,
You go to
Ayat,
the-
you
Met the community.
you eventually come back up, and you just hear like a little chuckle. But this wasn't hard on you or anything. It felt very mild, like you wasn't really drowning per se. But as you
Yes.
come up, and she just, I'm sorry, what was the number now? I kind of
That's
got
funny.
lost. I don't know. I thought it was pretty hilarious.
If I had my right arm, I would flip you off right now.
And you
have a left arm.
don't. I just
Good talk.
came to tell you that.
Alright. I'll let the others know and they can keep an eye out. And I'll keep an ear out.
Good. As I said, you need to stay away from whoever they were. It wouldn't be in your best interest.
We'll try. But I don't know. Trouble finds us sometimes like a belly demon in an urn.
Very accurate.
Got a point.
A little too specific, but
Not
I
sure
might-
why I'm being called out.
I might let you have that one. That was pretty funny too. But
Even a broken clock works twice.
keep up the good work. You're doing a fantastic job.
Ellie shouts from the pool. Why do I have sarcasm 8?
Yeah.
And then it's like a very quick, as it feels like she kind of disappears, just being a pain in my ass.
I'm gonna get out of that spring and head back over to the others.
Okay.
I want to bet like because he can't like he just falls into it. He doesn't like know where the edge is. You're like,
Gorbu, as she explains that surely you guys know about the table that had the engraved of what looks like the shield, and that there is 2 other items, definitely confirming a sword and bow. She goes through stating it's still unclear where the shield is at. She almost believes, like 85%, that no other guild has it. It's something else entirely. The sword has been in no information of anything. It's like it's been made, but it almost like it doesn't exist. And states that the bow, there was rumors of it being seen, but it's like it also disappeared. And there's just very surprisingly no information on it at all.
Does
And
she know where the rumors of it being seen were?
she explains that the funny thing is, it's people having hazy remembrance of something like that. But there's no accounts for anything of it.
No details on where these people were when they had the hazy memories, or not public information, I guess.
If you want to pry, you can make a persuasion check.
Do you know where those people had the memories?
11.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
man.
good.
But better than most of my rolls for charisma.
Try Ares Gate.
Fuck my life.
Thank you. I kinda didn't think that the shield would be with any of the guilds either. Do you know, I don't know how much has been relayed between guilds, but the details about how we found the fake shield?
I am aware. I am doing my best to keep. Oh wait, hold on. You talking about like the one at the island
found.
thing?
We found that was in the island that crumbled when it was attacked. We found it over here, and they took it. We took it to Raqqa, and it was destroyed there.
I've had a associate who took a bit to get here. She was from a whole other region, if you will, who has strangely a little bit of information she could work with. Some information that came from the paragraphs, if you will, paragraphs, if you will. Some of them indicated these obelisks that we know of that are scattered around the region. We don't quite know the full extent of them. There is one that I unfortunately will not disclose to you, but has information that it seems only some of us can read.
Would you have any idea about a figure calling themselves the Voice that's looking for followers, specifically 3 of different dragons, to uncover the truth? I think it may be linked to obelisks that have runes only some people can read.
I've heard about this from Nodrin. Mentioned something lightly of that fact. but also informed me that they're not a threat of any kind.
What if I told you that I kind of felt like something on the obelisk there was calling to me?
Explain how.
It felt like it was whispering to me to walk towards the wall, right, DM? Is that
Yes.
I'll explain that. That I was reading the obelisk, and then I just kept feeling like this. What would you altar? That was off to the side was kind of calling me to come towards it. It was like whispering to me.
Did anybody else notice this?
No. They might have noticed me glancing at it, but I don't think they heard it whispering.
Where was
didn't-
this at?
Near Zilisi, there was a cave that we went to on the northern side of the island. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought Elise did.
What?
I thought Elise noticed it. I know this is off.
I think she noticed me glancing. I don't think she heard the whisper.
Nobody else heard the whispering but him.
Yeah. I think she like insight checked me and noticed that I kept looking over, but the cat
This is my perch now.
stealthy.
I shall not break. Anyways.
And did you mean Nodrin or Zildron?
Nodrin.
Told her. Okay, so because I think Zildron was who I had talked to about it.
Yeah, the amethyst dragon.
Yeah. So that's news to me that Nodrin knew about the voice. I thought it wouldn't be wise to pursue the whispers based on the voice being a follower of uh dang, I lost my train of thought.
Tiamat.
No, I like just every thought in my head went out. That was what happened. I thought it wouldn't be wise to listen to the whispers and go towards it based on the voice being a follower of the chromatic dragon Tiamat. I guess everything that I knew, I thought pointed towards the platinum dragon and Bahamut and Tiamat being enemies. But I had never heard of a third dragon. Had you?
Third.
It was mentioned that there'd be champions of the three dragons. I think it was supposed to be myself, her, and the third person there who was also a dragonborn.
I don't know anything of a third god dragon.
My friend Elise may have gotten a better look at the third person, but I think he's supposed to be the follower of the third entity.
I'll have to look further in on this. I might give you a task to write the information down, but you don't have to do it here. But maybe to keep me a little bit informed on your travels, you can write me a letter and have it sent.
He can talk to you directly.
I may be busy and not have the means to write down the information you tell me.
Is there someone it would be better for me to contact with that information? Someone you trust?
And if I'm correct, you're speaking of the sending spell.
Yeah.
What if you have more information that you can't fit in a few words?
I can do multiple sendings or try to do a sending and then also try to do a letter.
If you think that would be beneficial to you, I can introduce you before you guys leave this town, the city, whatever, so that you can at least understand who you can message.
That might be a good idea.
You may go. I
Thank you.
appreciate your time, and thank you for showing back. I would hate if I had to chase you down.
I didn't have plans to run away. My friend wanted to run away and become like bootmakers. There's probably a
Yeah,
better
no,
word for that.
that's stupid.
but-
I've caught at least 2 people trying to do that, and they're
Yeah.
absolutely morons.
The guard said one and he made really bad shoes. Did the other one make good shoes at least?
Yes.
On.
Good shoes.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh,
Damn it.
natural 20.
There's the shoes she currently
Use it.
wears. Come on. 7.
Ah,
I cannot,
why should
unfortunately, tell you that information,
Okay.
but
She keeps them as prisoners, and they're her personal shoes.
but you may go and enjoy your friends, and if they have any questions they would like to ask me, they are free to come up here and ask. I hope you learned something from our conversations.
Learned a good amount. I kind of learned what a spy was. I didn't really understand that before.
Just be careful, Garbu.
Thank you. If you see a caravan with a spider and a crown on it, I'd say to be careful as well, but I think you can handle anything.
A spider and a crown. That caravan does not. Are they new?
As far as we know, they're new. We saw them in Iron Mare, and some vampiric entity attacked the city while they were there, and it may have been linked.
Vampiric.
I think that was how Eighth described it.
Do you know where they came from? Do you know anything else about them?
I think we knew they were heading south towards either the Gray Hill or the Thundering Mountains, but I don't think that they showed up in Zeetham, at least as far as we knew.
Never heard of them before.
I wondered if maybe they were linked to the dragons since the crown appeared before its head after it was taken over. But
Well, that might be a interesting theory. Probably
could be
not a connection.
coincidence, yeah.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of things that relate to things that unfortunately don't connect.
Also, final question. Sorry, but do you know who Lord Bell is? Is he an okay person?
I am aware who he is. He's a very interesting merchant himself.
Does he eat people?
I would hope not. That'd be kind of creepy.
He makes people like disappear from existence.
As a powerful merchant he is, I would not doubt that he has some capabilities under his
More magical.
command.
To the point that our friend Eighth doesn't even remember someone who he made disappear. The rest of us didn't either, except for myself managed to resist it somehow.
Well, I'm not surprised. There are some powerful merchants that tend to try to keep things that they do hidden. Some of those powerful merchants tend to live just north of Raqqa, but they're also in Elisset. But Mr. Bell tends to be from the northern of Raqqa. At least that's where most of his company resigns.
Thank you. I'll go let my friends know that they can come talk to you if they'd like.
Very well.
And I'll take your point about convictions to heart specifically, if nothing else. I mean, I'll take it all, but at least that.
Come back when you think you've proven yourself and show it to me. Then again, as you kind of like swim a little bit away to start walking down, you hear just like, it's like very faint, but I probably would already heard about it before you got here.
Thank you.
And you, as you kind of start to go down the steps a little bit, soaking wet, you can start to hear a little bit of your group to your left making
Probably
conversations.
at some point hear Luro in my head, like, "Are you okay?"
Actually, yeah, you would have. I completely forgot. He did send you a message just asking if you were okay.
No, I died. No, I'm kidding. I am. I'm alive. I'm fine. I'm actually
Terrified
right
child.
behind you.
So Garbu does arrive with all of you.
He's alive.
Yeah, she
You didn't
doesn't
get
think
killed?
I'm ready, but she's not gonna stop me. So she said to
Sick.
come back when I am ready.
Oh, I thought she was gonna kill you. I'm disappointed right now.
Yeah, we're very surprised you're
Yeah, she
alive. We
did
took
kind of
that.
threaten to drown me. Who won the bet?
Oh, I made that up. It was a joke
Oh.
about eighth.
I want
We
to
didn't
cut
bet.
in, but
Do you guys remember those cloak people that we ran into?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the blue one that
Apparently,
tried to kill Clarence, right? That
No.
cloak, or the cloaked
no.
one who tried to kill Lord?
No, the
and
people at the
Lord
fucking
Iron?
the house.
Yeah,
The,
Oh,
Tree
the
those
house.
house.
people. Listen, we've met a few cloaked people.
I met the most recent one.
Okay, you didn't say that.
He didn't.
Well,
Yeah.
anyway, Ocean seemed kind of familiar with one of them, the leader.
Okay.
They
She
like
felt some
banging.
sort of connection. Okay, I don't know.
Okay. And what did she tell you to like, stay away from them?
Yeah.
But it doesn't take a smart person to figure out.
Listen, I know we attract trouble a lot, and we end up running into
Yeah, but there's a
them again.
difference between attracting manageable trouble and attracting trouble that clearly is out of your fucking league.
I get that.
Anyway, I guess she's trying to be nice by being Captain Obvious.
Yeah. She also said she was happy.
What, for drowning you
too.
so many times?
Yeah, did she try to drown you
No.
again?
She did it to fuck with me.
Sure, buddy.
her-
Sure.
It was her idea of a joke.
Whatever you say, man.
I just look at the class and just go like,
Totally not a controlling relationship that you should be wary of. But
it's very toxic. It's very
You-
toxic.
How do you know that maybe she isn't helping this guy with what he's doing, and that's why she doesn't want you to interfere with him?
Asked her that. She didn't know the person, but she felt some sort of connection to them.
is it possible that your god
Trust her?
person is a bad guy?
Could she have lied to you?
Isn't she
Possibly.
like just a fey entity, not a god?
Well, yeah, I
She's a
don't know. I
fae,
don't really know their
yeah.
relationship though.
Yeah, well, there's a difference.
Fae, yeah, she's a fae entity.
Well, she kind of sucks. Anyway, was the dragon want something?
She said that you guys could go up and talk to her if you'd like.
But she said she had
Yeah.
questions first.
Yeah. I'm sure she will ask you questions if you go to her.
Kind of interested to see what this dragon has to say. It's kind of funny.
Same here.
She seems to be very up in arms and know it all.
She did kind of tell me some stuff about the shield that we can discuss if you want.
Did you tell her everything?
Define everything.
Like the moment she asked you a question, you spilled the beans on everything?
Like I was honest, yeah. I didn't see a
Okay.
reason to lie.
That makes sense. I mean, every time a dragon talks to you, like, I'm gonna tell everything, even though I shouldn't.
To be fair, I
Why
didn't
wouldn't
get the chance to tell everything with at least one of the dragons, so that means I didn't tell everything to every dragon.
Just because you didn't get the chance doesn't mean you wouldn't have.
What's wrong with
Wouldn't
telling the
couldn't
truth?
are two different things. I do know that. I might not know many things, but
Anyway, I want to go see what this dragon is about. It seems like the dragon has been hyped up now, so I want to see what this dragon has to say.
Yeah, I do too, actually.
Okay, well, we'll do that next time.
Yeah.
God damn it.
As we're in Hot Springs, thank
Get
you
this
everybody for
week.
joining us. Yeah, this was we went all the way to the max on this one, but
No, because Garmin didn't die, so I'm disappointed.
okay, hold on, let me pull something out real quick. But nevertheless, thank you everybody for joining us. I hope you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful night, and we'll catch you later. Bye.
Kill your local.